I will introduce myself. I'm camphustle1, and I'm here to debate Sonic Mindscape. Welcome to the channel, sir.
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on?
And then we also have Kavos. He's going to be moderating this debate. Would you like to introduce yourself, Kavos?
Yo, what's up? I'm Kavos.
Coke Benny, welcome to the stream, sir. What's up, Camp? Good to see you, man. I guess I'm going to let Sonic Mindscape actually lead the charge on this, because he's the one that has the contention with whatever we're going to be talking about. So I figured it'd be good to have you set it all up.
If I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You guys invited me. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Nah, I'm just kidding. No. All right, let's do this then. So obviously, listen, I have a huge problem with the whole Hustlers community, including Camp himself.
Holy
This is no
shit.
secret.
Okay.
Camp already knows that I'm like the villain in his like superhero story, right? Except in this story, the superhero always loses. But regardless, though, let me go ahead and just make my point. So about 2 weeks ago, Camp, like, he had the bright idea of like reacting to this clip of this 30, I think she was 35. Apparently she was a R&B singer. And she was talking about how she used to go for like, toxic men. And the entire time I couldn't help but just facepalm multiple times, because the entire time Camp was just saying, this is just how women are. This is just how women are. Women, they like the bad boy because they don't like a good man. A good man is boring, so they usually just go for the bad man. It's wired into them. And I couldn't help but facepalm, because I'm thinking to myself, like, you do realize that this is just like some women that feel like this. Most women, probably most likely, actually not even probably, they do want a stable man who isn't going to give them a lot of trouble, who isn't going to cause a lot of drama. And I feel like Camp is always separating both men and women, but specifically always separating the psychology, as if women have like this very specific set of psychological blueprint, psychological standards that they operate in, which I'm not saying that they have attraction to men and all stuff like that, but we're relatively similar in a lot of ways. Actually, I would probably say like 99% of the time we're very similar psychologically. But for some reason, Camp always says that, at least he doesn't say it, but indirectly, because of like his comments and opinions, it always comes off as if women have like this psychological set that they operate in that is completely different from men. So I'm here to absolutely destroy whatever opinion he has about that, because I'm sure that in some way, shape, or form, when he goes around driving in the streets, he's probably thinking to himself like, yeah, you know what, man, that was probably not a good idea. So I'm here to help him realize that everything he said that day was wrong.
Okay, well, let me just go ahead and clarify. I mean, this isn't really my opening statement. I'm just kind of responding to what you said. I need to get my notepad out if I'm actually going to do this debate with you, because you said a lot just now, and I want to at least capture some of your points. That way I can rebut some of them. But at least from what I remember, I do not want to come off as any type of like woman hater, like I love women, so I'm gonna always like take up for them. But in terms of like defending their behavior or their choices, or even their independence, you are free to do whatever you like. It's I'm a married man. I'm out of the whole dating game and stuff, so I can only give my opinions about the generalities of women's behavior, and also just how men are treated in that situation, and how men can kind of avoid certain situations, because I've lived enough life experience to know what things to steer clear of, and what are red flags and stuff, and also what things that men do in order to put themselves in bad positions, in terms of like accepting a bad deal. I think we should talk about it, amongst each other, in order to kind of have better ideas about, what is something we're willing to accept, and also which we're willing to walk away from. Is there an echo? You guys hear an echo?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, there's a little echo.
Are you hearing yourself? Like, are you echoing?
Yeah, it's echoing.
I can hear it slightly.
I don't know if it's coming through your speakers, Sonic, if you have headphones.
Yeah. Actually, let me go ahead and put on my headphones, so then we don't have to have this problem.
Yeah, cool. I guess the only thing else I'll say is that I do work with all all ages of women from 18 all the way to like 60. So I've kind of seen the whole gamut in terms of the older generation and the newer generation and just the way women move and stuff. And at least in terms of what they look for in terms of like a good man, they want a man that is capable, dependable, honest, funny, maybe tall, maybe well off, maybe rich, clean, maybe not on drugs and maybe likes to have, fun every once in a while, but, is still very responsible. I think it's a balancing act, it's like they don't want everything to be all on one side and then someone to be lacking in another area. They kind of want you to kind of be a jack of all trades, if you will. And, it's a long list for some women, and then for other women, it's kind of simple.
Camp, I hate to butt in, but can we just clarify exactly like what you're addressing?
I was just addressing what Sonic was talking about, like my views, I guess, on what he was talking about in terms of like women and stuff. Like I was just speaking in generalities, because I don't really remember that live stream in terms of what I've said.
Well, I mean, yeah, because I think Sonic is talking about like a video, right?
Yes, yeah, he's talking about like some, what was it? You said a rap artist or something that I said that I was talking about?
Yeah.
And
R&B artist, yeah.
R&B artist, okay. And she's attracted to toxic men?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, she was attracted. I mean, she probably still is. It's very difficult to deprogram from that, but yeah, generally, yeah.
I mean, I think it's kind of the same thing, could be on the other side of the coin where men are attracted to toxic women, like hot women that are very shallow. They think, okay, well, maybe I can maneuver this in a way where it'll help my favor, like I can kind of get what I want out of the situation, and and maybe she can get a little bit of what she wants, or I could just hit it and quit it. I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is that men do the same thing in terms of holding women at a certain distance as where women will hold men at a certain distance and try not to, I guess, fully commit, like nobody wants to put all their eggs in one basket, if you know what I mean. People like to keep their options open, maybe date around, maybe date a few people before they, settle for one. Or maybe that one person doesn't have everything that they need, So the toxic person is typically more exciting than the person who has that 9 to 5 that's, stable. Stable is boring to some people. Would you agree?
Yeah. That's your opening statement, or?
I mean, I was just I was basically just going to what you were saying. Just trying to.
We're like jumping. We're jumping in already. Like,
well, we can now. We can now form. I just wanted to see what this whole debate was. I mean, if that's what we're going to be talking about, then I'm so glad that this is what the topic is, because I didn't have to prepare for this. This is great. This is cool.
No, yeah, dude. Like I watch you a lot, so I'm like, okay, so I know he does this, I know he does that. I definitely want to challenge him on that. So I'm prepared for this. So
okay, cool. Teen Toast Ghost, welcome to the stream, sir. Hey, Camp, good to see you, man. So I guess if you have, I'll let you lead off, I guess, with the. Well, was that your opening statement, or was that just kind of like a?
Yeah, that's essentially my point. That and again, like, the way you're coming off right now, it's like you're trying to, like, in a way, I think it's fence sitting. I think that you're coming off like that. But whenever you whenever you stream, it seems like you tend to read women, or at least you have like this deep understanding of women that when I listen to it, I'm like, okay, come on, man, like really, how did you get that?
Okay.
Like, for instance, like sometimes you'll say stuff like, well, women, I don't know if you've ever said they're hypergamous, but they operate on a certain psychological standard. And I know that in that video you were saying that women are just like that, like, they don't want boring, they want a toxic guy. But here's the thing, you didn't draw that niche back then. And I understand that sometimes you're going to you're not always going to get it perfect, especially during a live stream, right? So I mean, now that you're clarifying it now, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think I was just speaking generally. Anyway, I can't really say because I haven't met all women. I can only say, the general sense or whatever is that, yeah, women don't want a bum, but they want a guy that is doing something with their life that maybe has like, maybe a little bit of an exciting job, and maybe they don't even care about to know exactly what you do, but I mean, as long as you're bringing in enough money and stuff to provide them a nice lifestyle, or an exciting, jet setting lifestyle where they can constantly travel, I'm sure that they don't really care too much as long as it's like a sexy title to whatever you're doing,
so you don't think that women, they don't bask in feminine energy and they're not looking for like a protector. They're not looking for any of that, right?
No, I mean, I think there are some women actually that are family oriented. These are typically women that are brought under kind of like a religious, can be Catholic or any type of like hardcore religious background, and just maybe be all about family. And typically like third world countries, you will notice that women kind of fall back into like their gender roles, and same with men will be a little bit more masculine and kind of take the brunt of all of the stress in terms of like raising the family, holding the household together. And the wife will kind of just be in the house taking care of the children and just kind of maintaining the home for the man.
Okay, so then you don't think that women are like that. Okay, then do you believe that we should go back to a point in time like that?
I mean, the thing is, I think it would be ideal, but I don't think everybody would be on board. It would be
Yeah.
it would be like trying to get everybody to convert to like a hybrid car. There's going to be people that are always going to want to have a gas powered car. They don't want anything else because that's all they know. Same with people that are traditionalists or people that are just free spirited. They would rather just not be in a kind of a non-committal type relationship because it's like that's the best part of the relationship for them. They get to experience new people, they get to be in that constant honeymoon stage, and then as soon as it starts to get serious, they can exit.
So you don't think that a man should be a protector?
I think we should all aim to be protectors.
So when you say all, like you're including women in that, right?
Well, when I say men, I mean men. No.
Okay, so we're just focusing on men then. Okay, so you think that all men should be protectors, right?
We should strive to be protectors. Yes.
Okay. If
I understand I understand there are some men that have deficiencies, maybe even some trauma to where they can't really see themselves as that, and they need to be in a codependent type relationship, or or they can't stand on their own 2 feet. They need the support of other people, whereas there are some men that don't need the support of anybody. They can literally function on their own and they can operate in the world with no issue.
Right, but like you see the way that you're framing it right now, you're making it seem like this is like some sort of deficiency in men. The way you just framed it right now made it seem like there has to be some sort of trauma that's attached to a man who isn't serving that protector role. To me, like I kind of think of it this way: like if the person is interested in that path of becoming a protector, which means that they go out there, they learn how to fight and all of that, that's because their interest aligns with that type of philosophy. You understand?
Yeah,
It doesn't necessarily have to be a trauma for it, right?
Well, I would say if that was missing in them, like maybe they didn't have a strong male figure in their life, like their father, or I mean, any type of circumstance could happen where they didn't have both parents, or maybe they just didn't have a male in the house. They were just raised by their mother and stuff. That happens to a lot of guys. And I think a lot of men, they take on a lot of these feminine qualities in terms of like temperament. It could be like a very strict mother, and maybe that kind of manifests itself later in the man to possibly kind of have a short fuse. Because we've seen it, typically men that are raised by single mothers, they tend to have higher percentages of going into jail, going into like the foster care system because of behavior issues. They can't maintain any type of stoicism. They can't like internalize what they're feeling. Everything has to be externalized. So yeah, they lash out. They don't know how to focus their attention or focus their energy, or channel it in a way to where it can benefit them. They're kind of led by emotions, kind of like how most women can be led by emotions.
Yeah, but like you're making it sound like, okay, not sound, but you're talking about something completely different. Like what I'm referring to is like the protector role and like what men are supposed to because when I watch your content, like that's like there's like this like aura that you kind of like, you don't say it directly, and I think that you have said it directly, but oftentimes like it's like always indirect. It's like this indirect opinion that you have that just kind of manifests in every opinion that you give. It almost sounds like there's certain roles that men have to achieve. Like for instance, like if I say this, that women, I would want women to propose, for you immediately, like that lights this idea in your mind, like that is just not natural. It's not supposed to happen like that.
I mean, if a woman proposes to a man and a man accepts it and they go the distance and they live to be 90 years old together and stuff, that is fine. That's a beautiful thing. But I'm just saying, for my own personal, I guess it wouldn't ever work for me in that way, because that's my role. I know we've talked about this on past debates before, but I believe that is a man's role to approach a woman. And it's also a man's role to, really, I guess, choose the woman to be his wife, because if a woman is going around choosing men and stuff, I mean, would you say that women are kind of set in whatever their decisions they have, or do they change from moment to moment?
It varies, honestly. If we are talking about like the average person, I would say that it varies from moment to moment.
Yeah. So maybe it wouldn't be in a man's best interest to accept a ring from a woman who is like completely like head over heels for you one day, and then maybe like 3 months down the line, she just can't stand to be around you. Like everything you do is just annoying her, Whereas like a man, I think there's a lot that a woman would have to do in order for us to like get to that point, because I think we have a lot more of a tolerance in terms of, being with one person. I think, because what is that? What is that term? I can't remember it. I can never pronounce it, but it's when you divorce for no fault divorce. You basically divorce because you just don't want to be together anymore. No fault divorce, but it's also irrevocable differences. Is that how you say it? You know what I'm talking about, right?
I haven't heard the term,
Yeah,
but I think
I
I know
think
what
so.
you're getting at.
You know what I'm talking about. It's basically like there's no reason that there's nothing that you did. She just doesn't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah, no fault divorce.
Basically, yeah, that's the way I would probably put it. So you don't see this happening with men. Men will stay with women forever, unless she is like a threat to his life or threat to his children, or maybe even a threat to his career in some circumstances. But I think that a man will always stay with a woman, but a woman can completely flip on a dime and just...
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about right there. You saw how you just drew like psychological standards for like the woman and a man. That's what I'm talking about. When you give opinions like that, you do that. There's like this like way that men operate compared to women. And so like my opening statement was that men and women, they operate psychologically, like they operate very similarly psychologically 99% of the time. And right now what you're doing, it's like you're not drawing parallels, but you're like separating both of them, and you're making it seem like they both don't have the same psychological blueprint.
I don't think that men and women live the same type of life. I don't think we experience the same type of issues. We have completely two different worries and stuff that we focus on. I think men, we want to always like make sure that, we're healthy, that we're, doing something, that we're producing, that we are, making a difference, And I think women, man, they're just there to really kind of nest, Maybe some of them are trying to make some changes and stuff like that. But for the most part, I think women are just going to be at this point where like, yeah, we want to we want to kind of choose the winner. You know, we want to be with somebody that's doing something. You know, we
there
don't.
you go.
I mean, that's what
it comes out. It comes out. That's exactly what I was waiting for you to do.
No, I mean, I
Out.
think it's true. I think it's true. I think it's a lot easier. Well, I don't know. I mean, with the whole thing with like social media and women, you know, being e-thoughts and people, basically women making more money than men by like selling their bodies and stuff like that, being like online, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to like get the stream flagged, whatever, but you know, doing that, cam sites and all that stuff. I think it has really opened the door for a lot of women to be like, oh, dude, like I make way more than if I was trying to find a man that's making, you know, this kind of money. There's no real man that's making that kind of money online because it's like it's just not there for us. So you're kind of like women, like the women that are on those cam sites that are like doing that. I mean, we also have to realize that, you know, it's not a great majority of women that are successful. It's a, you know, it's a small percentage, you know?
Right. But what I'm talking about is there's psychological similarities between both men and women. Whereas right now you just showcase to everybody that you do have like this you have this view where you separate both of them when I know that they operate very similarly. Now you say that there's different they have different conditioning aspects, like, you know, when they go through life they have different worries and stuff like that. Yeah, but the thing is that like that shapes a person's personality and in the way they think. I'm talking about like we all have the same fear, the same love, the same happiness, sadness, all of this, and especially like other forms of the way we operate mentally. That's what I'm trying to get at. So I'll show you what I mean by this. Okay, so right now you say that you know, it's mostly the women who are going on these websites like OnlyFans, and they're the ones who are attracting all the men, right? All right, so to me, that is the case right now, currently, right now. But there's going to be a time in the future, probably 100 years from now, where this whole sexual. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I say that?
Yeah.
This whole movement of like, you know, being explicit. There's going to be a point in time where women are also going to be participating in that same behavior like men do today.
You mean like paying for it? Paying for online? I mean,
yep.
I don't know, man.
It's going to happen.
They don't really have to pay for it, but I mean, I guess so. I mean,
no. They at the moment they don't have to pay for it, but there's going to be a point in time where they are going to want to pay for it because there's going to be men who are also going to learn the art of seduction, and then they're going to be like, if you go on TikTok, I forgot the name of that guy. His name is like Jacob something. Literally, this guy thirst traps all the time, and you just see like a comment section full of thirsty women. If he was to put that behind a wall or like a paywall like OnlyFans, guarantee women would go and pay for that. But currently, because of society, the way society view women and how they're supposed to be pure, that doesn't happen because there's that psychological barrier. But if it was broken, women would absolutely go and pay for that. If men started OnlyFans, they would be able to profit off of women as well as like gay men as well, because gay men, they like doing all of that. But women, because there's that psychological barrier, we don't know just how much they would commit to that, because I heard that there's like a difference between testosterone and estrogen. I don't know if it's the testosterone that just aggressively makes men go and look for that kind of content.
Men are
but
visual.
I would imagine that to some degree, women would probably most likely go and chase after that as well, if it wasn't for that psychological barrier of like, you know, women have to stay pure.
I think men are visual creatures, and you know, I think you know, I've said this before. I think, you know, we have a range of what we find attractive. So you know, a woman that is like a 6 all the way to a 10, you know, there's a huge gamut of women in that type of population. Whereas I would say that I don't think women really. I mean, I don't know. I can't really place any bets, but I would say I don't think any woman really like look at like corn like that. I mean, I think there are some that watch, you know, female version of corn, like directed by women and stuff for women. There is stuff like that, but I think like on a massive scale, I don't think that's like the general. Like, it's not a big number of women. I think what we're talking about is a very small, minute portion of a population of women that are into watching corn, and I think I think honestly, I think women they're more like in tune with what they hear, whereas like we're more in tune with what we see and stuff. I don't know. I mean, I think that's kind of how we're different. You know, I think a woman could pick up like a romance novel and completely get that same type of sensation that a guy would get from subscribing to like an OnlyFans, you know, and having that little parasocial relationship with that cam girl, you know. Because women are a lot more like in their head in terms of like their imagination, and you know, men, it's like it's just like it's a candy store. It's a candy store. It's like an endless, you know, buffet, you know, for a lot of these guys that, you know, just are completely addicted and stuff.
That is a pretty good point. I would like to like explore that idea, why women are more into like erotic novels than men are, and why are men into OnlyFans. But I don't know too much about that, but that is something that I will look into. But I want to tackle your point about men are more visual than women. You really believe that?
I mean, I absolutely do believe that. I think a woman can I mean, I think initial attraction, sure. I think a woman can observe a man that has like facial symmetry, maybe is in good shape, you know, maybe is like her, you know, ideal height, and you know, maybe has like a little bit of status and aura and stuff about him. I think a woman can visualize that and see that and be like, oh yeah, you know, like he's attractive. But a woman, I think, would always need to have more. You know, she would need to see what his tonation is, what is his thought process. Did he vote for Trump? That's like a red flag now. Okay, so I mean, it's crazy. It's like I think I recently saw a video, like a woman, she said this guy checked off all the boxes, he was like her perfect man, but then she found out that he voted for Trump, and she's just like, I just couldn't do it, you know.
But that sounds more like pickiness. That's more
it's like a disqualification.
That's what I would call it. That sounds more like that, but I'm referring to like visualness. Like, you know, when you're looking at someone visually, like, you know, do you want to be with someone like that? Like that's what I'm referring to.
I think men have a range.
The next question I was going to propose.
Men have a range. Women have like a specific type. And when I say specific type, I mean like tall, tan. It could be like hazel eyes. It could be like, I don't know, whatever, Fabio hair, whatever they like is what they like, and every woman's different. But I think women are a little bit more in tune of like what their type is, whereas men have a range.
Okay,
so there's a slight difference there. Coke Benny just said
that women have.
Coke Benny just said, does Sonic seriously think the female dollar is strong in the corn industry? I mean, maybe not right now. I mean, I think what you were saying, maybe in the future, it's going to be more equalized.
Yeah.
I think that would take a long time.
I don't even think in our lifetime, honestly.
Well, I mean, like, you see that women are starting to become, you know, people in power. Like they're starting to, you know, become more members of Congress. They're starting to become sicarios over at cartels. They're starting to become female bosses. They're starting to become billionaires, hedge fund managers, all sorts of stuff. Like if women are like occupying these spaces, most likely women are going to occupy the spaces in the underworld. Absolutely. You know, and if anybody denies that, that's fine. You can deny it, but you can see that the numbers are telling us something different, you know? So yeah, like you can just look up the numbers. Like go ahead and look up, you know, is there like an increasing number of women watching corn every day? And you will see that those numbers are rising gradually every year.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. It's just like I said, I feel like that would take like, I don't know, bro, like years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think what we're arguing against is a very insignificant amount of women. Like it's a very small percentage that's not even really enough to even shift the market, you know? Like I think it's going to always be dominated by men. And, you know, like if men were to just like completely like go no fap for like the rest of their lives, women would have to figure out what to do.
But do you know why that men feel like that though? Why they go out and search it though? Do you understand that?
I mean, I would assume that it would be that it's a lot easier. It's a path of least resistance.
Hang on a second. 'Cause actually, let me see. Do you understand why men go out and search corn? I really want to ask you this question. I'm very curious to know what you're going to say about this, but I'll tackle this back. We'll come back to this question. Okay. I want to go back to like, are men more visual? Because like my next question was going to be like, okay, so if men are more visual, why is it that when women, they hop onto Tinder, there's thousands and thousands of swipes. I mean, thousands and thousands of likes and all of that, but none of them, like, they look at these men and say, no, no, no. Because you do realize that when it comes to Tinder, that is almost all visual. You know that, right?
Of course. But men
Yeah,
aren't
so
even there are some men that don't even are looking at the pictures that they're swiping. They're just swiping to get any type of connection. They're using the hot dog trick where they have like the hot dog on like a little, I don't know, like a wiggle something, and it's just like automatic, and it just keeps swiping right until I guess they run out of swipes or something. They're doing that because they're just trying to get any type of connection, because it really is. It's a desolate desert out there. At least
so doesn't
for
that make it? Doesn't that kind of contradict what you were saying about how men are more visual?
Uh-oh. Did you mute yourself? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I thought, okay, no, I thought you muted. Can you say it one more time? I'm sorry.
Like, doesn't that kind of like defeat your argument about how men are more visual? They're just desperately looking for women.
Well, I think men do have some standard, I think it's just a little bit more forgiving, I think, than women. I think that men, are willing to take a vast majority of women, but I think women will probably take just a small select group of men. That's kind of how it's always been.
So it's because of the resources. Is that what you're saying?
No. If we're talking about like dating sites and stuff, which it's literally just a rap sheet, a couple profile pictures and stuff like that. It's all visual, so it is kind of on an equal footing there. So I think that, women are probably looking beyond the pictures and looking into the descriptions and stuff, maybe seeing how you word things, maybe seeing what you post about and stuff. And maybe if you link it to other things like your other social media and stuff, maybe they do some further investigation. But I do think that women are going to be looking to disqualify men. They're looking to disqualify men, whereas, men are looking for reasons to accept a woman, to take a woman on.
Yeah, no. I mean, that still doesn't that doesn't go against like what I, initially stated, which is that women are, that we're both equal psychologically.
Not equal. No. Oh, well, go ahead. You don't finish your thought. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
no. Go ahead.
I don't think that we are equal in that aspect. I think that men are more visual, whereas like women, yeah, that is a small aspect of the attraction, the visual part. But I think they weigh more on, what you are, what you do and stuff, like your personality, like you could be a 9 or a 10, whatever, but if you exude sociopathic behaviors, yeah, that's going to probably like throw up a red flag for a woman, and it doesn't matter what you look like. So yeah, your looks might get you in the door, but women are always going to dig deeper to figure out what you're all about, and maybe even try to find more ways to disqualify you. You could be this 9 or 10 looks maxer that ends up living at his mom's house or whatever, and that might be, okay, well, I don't want to date no mama's boy, So,
I think most women would be forgiving of that, though.
Forgiving of what? A man living with his mom?
Oh, yeah. If he was like a 9 or 10. Well, I mean, let me take that back. I think it depends on the age, right? So, like, older women are probably not going to be as forgiving, but if you're like a young guy and you have a bunch of young women like wanting you, I think they're going to be much more forgiving of the fact that you live with your parents.
No, dude, you're actually pretty correct on that. I mean, all I have to do is just point to one example, which is Anna Kasparian, when she was debating Pearl Davis. She literally said that like her husband was not, he was not financially successful, but she didn't care. She still went. She went for him, and now they're both together living a happy life.
Yeah, but he is now successful, and I think there was think there was a time limit on that success. I think if he was still the guy on the couch, still couch serving and not really making any steps to better himself, I think eventually she would have left. But the fact is, he did improve his circumstance, and now they are doing well. So I think it's still true that a woman will take on a man in order to I guess support him, but it's never the same like a man would support a woman indefinitely if she never got like a job, or she never, if she could never get like her if she never got a job. It's just as simple as that. If she never got a job and she just like stayed at home and just, like, this is going to be my role is I'm going to make sure the house is clean, I'm going to make sure you have, your clothes are washed, and you have like breakfast, and you have your coffee on your way to work and all that stuff. It's like men are willing to take that, but I don't think a woman would take that from a man for long term. I think they would take it for a little while, but I think there would be a time limit on that.
That was probably true like 100 years ago, and here's the thing, even true today, But I would say that it's starting to become a lot less more common in society now, because the more we move into the future where men and women can have equal footing in every aspect of the economy, that norm is going to just gradually diminish, because like back then, yeah. Men controlled everything. Literally, it was a patriarchy. So if you did not have the money, the resources, or anything like that, then yeah, by that standard, you were kind of technically a loser. But even then, I'm pretty sure that women would still date the loser, because there was a lot of poor families, right? And to have a poor family, you need a man and a woman. So yeah, the man doesn't have to be successful, right?
I think men typically will date across social ladders in terms of being equally yoked with a person. They'll probably date somebody that probably works at the same company as them, or maybe at the same income level as them. But I think for a woman, I think they are a little bit more selective in terms of what they require. It might be he might need to make like 1.5 more than me. He needs to be at or above me. He can't be equal or below me. Whereas with men, you could be your yearly income could be zero, and it wouldn't matter. The man would probably still take you on because you fulfill him in other ways instead of
but
monetarily security. That's not something that we look for in women, is monetary security, financial security. I think that's where we're different.
But that's only because of the current climate right now. That's like the legacy of the patriarchy. We are fresh off the patriarchal society that we used to live in. Just like for actually, I'm not going to bring up race. It's best just not to bring up race. I think it's just better to just stick to this. So what I'm going to say is that, yeah, we're freshly off of that patriarchal roller coaster, because it wasn't even that long ago that 100 years ago vote. They all had to answer to their husband. They couldn't even divorce their husband up until 1960. So we're fresh. We're slowly getting off that roller coaster. So yeah, when you see a woman say that I'm not going to date a man because I don't have the resources because he's not financially rich, that's because of the stuff of the societal norms that we used to live by years ago. That's the legacy currently.
I mean, would you say?
A point in time,
oh, go ahead.
There's going to be a point in time where women are not going to be thinking like that anymore. They're going to be rich, and they're going to want to date the loser from like McDonald's if it makes her happy.
No, dude, that would never happen. A woman, see, this is where I really have to.
You're basically
that.
I think you're basically saying like the roles are going to be reversed, right? Like the women are going to be the ones that are like
no, I wouldn't say
masculine
reversed.
in charge.
No.
Well,
I don't think that's ever going to happen. It's never going to happen.
It's going to be a point in time where like men and women are not. They're probably even going to leave that social norm behind, and there's going to be a new social norm where they don't care about income or whatever the case is.
Based on what, about, Sonic? Based on what? Like what history are you? I'm just trying to say, like, what history has shown you that a woman, no matter what her circumstance, is going to take on a McDonald's worker?
Well, I mean, all you really got to do is just listen to the women that like give their opinions all the time online. You can go on TikTok to do that, or you could take a look at societies that did not operate on a patriarchal society, like the Aztecs. They didn't have no patriarchy. Women were able to own property, all sorts of stuff like that. And if women had power like that, then most likely they weren't thinking, yeah, you know what, I don't want to date a loser because he can't provide for me. Like, I just can't imagine that. I just can't. And then there's other societies as well where, like African societies, ancient African societies where men and women were both, I would say egalitarian. Yeah, I doubt that they would be thinking, yeah, you know what, man, I don't want to date a loser because he can't provide for me. That would be absolutely insane. Like, you're telling me a woman who has like her own property, her own stuff, You really think that she's gonna sit there and say like, I need this guy to protect me. I need this guy to provide for me financially. It's so dumb. It's like it's so it's so ancient. It's barbaric.
I have seen countless videos of successful women completely broken down, crying, said that they don't want this life anymore of independence, that it's not fulfilling to them because now they're past the point where they can safely bear children. They haven't even developed a relationship with a man because they've been married to the career for so long. And now they're in a situation where they probably have maybe like 1 to 3 years left of like possibly having a relationship to where she can, settle down with a man and possibly have a child, or she's just going to never have that possibility again. There's many women online right now that are complaining about that. And because they were hypnotized by the whole feminist agenda that, you don't need a man. You can basically go out, you can vote, you can be strong and independent. You can go and make your own money. And there's so many different government programs that you can utilize that are going to basically take care of you. And you don't need to rely on a man to be there, to be, and I think now we're starting to swing the pendulum the other way. Women are starting to realize that was all a lie. And now they're left where they're not fulfilled. And maybe you could say that women are never happy. I'll say that. I think there's just certain women that are just never satisfied. They might see a guy that is, maybe popular or something like that. And they finally, maybe start a relationship with that person. And then maybe a couple months in, or maybe even years in, they realize that, oh, he's not really what I thought he was. Or maybe he changed or something. And now, they're not satisfied with that. Whereas, I think that's kind of where men differ. I think men kind of like, we kind of look at women when we are in relationships with them. We look at them from the moment we started with them, and we hold on to that. And we like never really let that go in terms of like, how it was when we first started. Like we hold on to those memories, and we see that when relationships do fall apart, it's typically because one person in that relationship changed. So either the man changed or the woman changed. Most of the time it's the woman changing and the man stays the same.
So wait, you're saying that, okay.
I'm going. Oh, hold on. Before we start, I did write a note on your whole women voting and stuff, like women getting the time to vote. Back then, I think when women were like, going that whole suffrage thing and stuff, and like, I think there were a lot of women that were actually protesting against like wanting to have that responsibility to vote. But also, the ones that were voting and they were in, relationships with, their husbands and stuff like that, I think they were kind of like going along with their husband's vote. Like there wasn't really like this, oh, I'm going to vote against what you're voting to cancel out your vote and stuff. I don't think there was any of that, And I think even today, I think a lot of couples, that's how they kind of pair off, because they have similar political views. I've seen a lot of examples of that.
I mean, if you ask me, like, because you make it sound like it's chipper, but it probably wasn't like that, man, because I'm sure that, like, these women fought hard for suffrage. And if that's the case, if they really wanted to vote, then that probably means that they had lots of opinions, and they also wanted to vote for certain things that were occurring during that time. And it seems to me like oftentimes men they didn't want to vote for whatever the woman wanted, because they probably saw them as like, oh, well, you're inferior. What do you know about politics, right?
Well, I mean, I think even then, I would think in that type of relationship, marriage, whatever you want to call it, I think there would be some type of compromise and maybe even an acquiesce, that one person, mainly the woman, would probably acquiesce to the man, and just kind of go with whatever his view was, to kind of support him.
But that's you're like looking at it through like an idealistic lens, like that probably wasn't even the case. I mean, like
you say probably, you say probably wasn't the case. I think most likely it was.
I'm sorry.
Let's
not say probably.
Yeah,
it's because I don't want to sit there and say that I know for sure. But let's go ahead and like think about it a little bit more critically then, if that's what you want. Okay.
Yes.
So we've gotten to this point where we have no faults divorce, right? Women are able to suffer. They fought for that, right? They're able to buy property now. They weren't before, and now they can they have seats at the table when it comes to making important decisions in politics. Okay,
Mhm.
you're telling me that a woman 100 years ago, you think that they had a much better life than a woman in this day and age? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh no, absolutely not. I think modern women are more miserable
that's what I'm
than
saying,
ever.
like-
But I think that's by their own choice because they wanted to change things up.
Yeah, exactly.
If they left things the way
it's
it
not- it's
was,
not
I think
because
they-
they want to change things. There was a pressure that existed during that time that made them want to make that change. Because it's not that they just woke up one day and say, you know what, man, let me go ahead and change my perfect life. Or I don't want to say perfect because then you're probably gonna get on me for that. But yeah, this
you're
life
right,
where like
you're
a man
right.
provides for me, huh?
You're right.
Yeah, like this man that provides for me. Yeah, you know what, man, this sucks. Let me go ahead and just change things up. Yeah, I want to vote. I want a seat at the table. I want no false divorce. Yeah,
You're proving
sounds
my
like a
point.
bunch-
What I said earlier: women are never satisfied. They feel like they need to change things.
I don't
and they
think anybody's ever satisfied though. Like at that, you know.
You say
according to that
anybody? So
logic.
you think men aren't always satisfied?
Like, dude, like we literally have men talking about how like the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. Like, do you understand how many middle class men have the opportunity to build wealth, but they don't do it because they're always they're always talking about how like the rich are getting richer. Like, bro, like you're literally like you're not satisfied with what you have. Like, why do you look at them and say that they're evil in that case? Like, aren't you happy with what you have?
I mean, yeah,
I know
you're gonna
plenty of people like this who have the dream life. They work remote, they work out, they travel, and yet they're still unsatisfied because they don't have enough. Like,
Well,
it's like,
that's because of the pursuit of things is fleeting.
no. But now you're trying to move the goalposts. No,
No,
what I'm trying to
that's
say,
exactly what it is, man. It's the
No,
pursuit of
you're
things.
moving
It's
the
the
goalpost, though.
no, that's exactly what it is. That's why you're not satisfied because you want to just fill that void with a lot of stuff, whether it's cars, trips, vacations, and houses and whatever. After a while, money has no meaning. Once you're at a certain level, it's just about power and control at a certain
right?
point.
But the point is that you're saying that women are never satisfied, and I'm showing you like yeah, but men are the same way as well. Men aren't satisfied either.
I don't know, man. There's plenty of men that I think could totally live on $30K a year on a mattress with no box spring on the floor, and they're perfectly happy with that.
Yeah, but that's like very few people though. Like I'm not few people. That's some people.
You think it's a few? You think it? Honestly, I think if women didn't push men to, get these houses and stuff, and be able to afford all these nice things, whatever. I mean, honestly, I've said it before, and it's not really a dig towards women. It's actually a benefit of being with a woman is that a woman will come into your house and make it a home. She will push you to be more motivated to maybe go for that promotion so that you're making more money so that you guys can, go on more trips or, afford a bigger house or whatever, or put the kids in through college, whatever. It's like, if there's no woman to motivate the man like that, yes, there are going to be some men that are motivated on their own, but I think men are simple in that aspect. I think there are some men that don't need a lot to be happy.
Yeah, some men, but like the majority of men are pretty unsatisfied.
Well,
I mean, like that's why there's like the what is it called, the man crisis right now that's going on. Like
men going their own
men are
way.
not doing well in life. Like they're unsatisfied. Like what are you talking about?
Well, I think.
Wait, are you talking about are you talking about the male loneliness epidemic?
That as well.
Or you're just
Male loneliness
going-
epidemic. But that's more of a niche than what's going on right now. Like men currently right now, they're unsatisfied with their lives, and I do agree with to a degree that yeah, I can understand why some of you guys would be unsatisfied. Because there's no roadmap, none of that. But what about the people who have good jobs and stuff like that? Like the men who have good jobs. It's like, come on, bro. Like really, like you're unsatisfied. Like you have like the dream job, or not the dream job, but like a job that can help support you. It's stuff like that, man. Like this is like the kind
Well,
of society
you
that we
also
live
got to
in.
take into account, Sonic, that the baby boomers, they were able to afford housing at like age 27 on average, because of the cost of living and all that stuff. But now where we live in the modern times of like inflation and everything, it's damn near impossible to afford a house without a two income,
I've been looking at that because like the thing is that like they always try to paint it as like the boomers had this, the boomers had that, but like the thing is that like housing like because I always hear about this. I always take a look at the housing that they're talking about, and it's always in places where they were being developed. Like for instance, we're talking about like housing in Southern California. Yeah, of course, housing there is going to increase because that place it developed. It developed into a metropolis. So now when people talk about how like, oh yeah, well I can't buy a house nowadays, like most of the time they're probably talking about like in these blue cities where it's extremely expensive to live in.
No, dude,
That's what
this
they're
is
talking
just this
about.
is across the board in like Kansas and Missouri and flyover states and stuff. It's becoming
Wait, you're telling me that
unaffordable
they can't buy a
everywhere.
house over in the Midwest of America? Like actually not Midwest, in Middle America?
If you were able to work out there, the cost of living is typically lower, so you're not getting paid enough to live out there. I mean, places like, yeah, people are turning towards apartments because apartments are more affordable than like a house. It's like, I mean, it's across the board. You got Blackwater or whatever freaking buying up all of these single family homes and just increasing the rates and stuff. So it's becoming harder and harder, and people are shacking up. Women that can't develop relationships are becoming sister wives, and they're shacking up 3, 4, maybe even 5 and 6 in a house to be able to house themselves, to be off the street.
Right. But here's the thing though, like, yeah, I think that there is like these companies that are buying up because of private equity firms. They go out and search for these assets for them to build and grow their wealth. But I mean, like, I don't want to say that there's plenty, but I know for sure that like when you look at housing over in the Midwest, not Midwest, why do I keep saying Midwest? Middle America, like you can find housing there that's extraordinarily cheap. Like literally, like my brother and I, like we were looking at housing on, I think Zillow, that was the name of the website.
Yeah.
Literally, they were selling a house for $1. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but
it's like,
was it safe? Was it in the hood? If you park your car there, is it going to be on cinder blocks by the morning?
yeah, but then that's when you start to like worry about like location and all of that. But that's not my point. The point that I'm trying to make though is that like, if you're talking about housing, if you're talking about all of this stuff, then there's other places where you can develop as well. Because you got to remember, like all of these places like New York City and Los Angeles, all of the neighboring neighborhoods. At one point, they probably looked just like that rundown city or town over in mid America. But because more and more people chose to go there, it developed into a metropolis, into all of these major neighborhoods, cities, all sorts of stuff like that. You understand?
Yeah,
Like,
and
do
it
you understand
basically
what I'm saying?
raised the property value and it pushed the poor people out.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I don't know too much about that. Like, I don't want to get into that.
Oh,
But like, my point
I
is,
can tell you that. Okay, so those storage units that you see at like Sam's Club and Costco, that's basically supposed to be like tool sheds, but they're like little miniature houses. People are now buying those and living out of those because they just can't afford an actual proper house or even want to throw away money on an apartment.
yeah. I mean, like from my understanding about all of that. I mean, now we're like kind of deviating from the topic, but like my
No, I mean
understanding from
it's
that is
still an
just that, like,
economic thing that it still kind of relates between men and women. It is getting desperate now, in terms of
yeah,
just
but
trying to survive. The world isn't built for one person. Men and women have to come together in order to survive.
yeah, but like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. From my understanding, these blue cities, the reason why they struggle with housing is because of like permits and the regulation that goes on there. I think that California has gotten a little better with that. I think New York as well. But eventually Texas and Florida, because they always like to say like we're the rest states and we're always attracting all the blue folks. Like they want to come to our states because we're tax free and all of that. Like eventually it's gonna have to catch up, all of that. Because you can't run on that model forever. You know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like I mean I don't know, man. Like. I don't even know what the topic was. What was the topic that we were talking about
We're
before
basically just
the housing?
we're just talking about how men and women, well, men mainly they have this pressure, to be able to provide a stable income, to be able to afford a decent living place, whatever. I mean, I don't think any woman is willing to shack up with a man that is living, in a dollar house that he found on Zillow, that's in the hood, probably has, break-ins every night and stuff like that. Isn't a safe place to raise a family. I mean, there's a lot of things that women consider, and also which are red flags to where they can disqualify a man. Be like, okay, well, he's obviously not working hard enough to produce enough, so this can only go so far. Yeah, he looks good and stuff like that, but we're not paying the bills off of how he looks. We need him to be able to produce, and that is our main focus, or our main mission in life as men, is to produce. Whether it's for a family or for ourselves, we need to be able and be capable to be able to do that. Now, if you just want to kind of, sit back and try to, live off the government and stuff, and, just try to get disability or whatever like that, it's like, yeah, you've kind of given up,
Yeah.
I think anybody that is like looking for a handout and stuff, or complaining and stuff, like, I run across people all the time that are way younger than me by like 10 years, and they're out here begging and stuff. I'm just like, dude, it's like, you have the energy to get up every day and walk to this location. It's like, I'm pretty sure you're not sleeping here, so you're obviously putting some type of effort for it. It's like, I don't know, man. As a man, every man needs to have this idea that nobody's coming to save you. No man is coming to save you. No woman is coming to save you. If you want out of this situation, you need to do it. You need to pull yourself up, and you need to get yourself out of this situation yourself, because nobody cares. Nobody cares about what's going on in your life, especially on social media, dude. We're only posting our W's. Nobody's posting L's. Some women are, and some men do it, but it's just like, I don't know. I think it's just something really for ridicule, but it's like, I think that's what's messing people up. People are comparing themselves to each other through social media, and they're getting frustrated that they can't have that same outcome, but it's all fake. They have to realize that people are faking online too, so I think that's kind of that's a big factor that a lot of people don't take into consideration.
Yeah. When you say that, like, some women are posting their W's, like, or like they're comparing their lives to like people online, because they rarely post their L's.
No, women post their L's all the time. They do. They post those crying videos all the time. Men typically don't do that, but there is a percentage that do that.
Right, because they have a different way of expressing their emotions, correct?
I would just say that yes. I would say that men typically don't go searching for attention like women will search for attention.
Well, I mean, women, I don't think that they're searching for attention. More or less, they're just expressing themselves. It's a diary for them. Whereas with men, they tend to like keep it to themselves. This is like something that men usually. I think that Dr. K was kind of going over this. He said that like men usually like to kind of stick to themselves, and it's because of like the way things have like kind of unfolded over the years. Again, legacy of the patriarchy. But I think that there's going to be a point in time where like men are also going to be able to express themselves freely. And you'll probably see that more often, where you see men crying on TikTok and getting their voice out.
As a man, dude, men don't care about what's going on. Men looking at other men, like, men don't care about what's going on with, like, if you're down and sad and depressed and stuff like that. Like, we don't want to hear that. It's like, you are still alive, you're still breathing, you still have an opportunity to turn it all around. But if you want to give up and make a little like 30-second TikTok about it and stuff, that's just like, that's something that's going to be online forever, and it's just going to be a endless cycle that you are just keeping yourself perpetually in. Whereas if you just didn't post that, you don't have it out there like that, then yeah, people, I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, I don't think it helps anything. It's just like worrying. Worrying doesn't do anything, It doesn't do anything to improve your life. It's actually one of the most useless emotions that humans have, is worrying.
What?
Worrying? Yes. Like fretting about the future and stuff, worrying about the future, or being depressed about the past,
Yeah, but worry, it's kind of like but damn, we're going to get into another discussion. I don't want to get into that. Okay, go ahead. Keep it.
No, it's true. I just think that it's useless behavior. I think it doesn't feed the soul. It doesn't help the soul in any way. All it does is spin your wheels into like a downward spiral. And yeah, you're just like kind of sucking the life around everybody around you. It's like, I don't know, man. If your life sucks, you can do something about it. You can change it. You don't have to deal with this, and you don't have to make everybody else deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, if someone was crying genuinely, like whether it was a man or genuinely crying, and you actually understood why they were feeling that emotion, I think that you would genuinely want to help. It's not just of like, I don't want to hear it and just walk away.
Well,
If you truly understood why they were crying, you would want to help.
So
you would want to understand that.
If a man is basically sleeping in his car because the wife that he had has left him because she cheated on him, she took the kids, she took the house and all that stuff like that, and now he's just trying to figure out like how he's going to be able to afford the next child support payment and all that stuff, it's like, yeah, that sucks, but just kind of figure it out, man. I don't think there's anything that's going to happen to you in this life that you can't handle. That's the kind of like mentality that you need to have, because you might as well just lie down and die if you're just going to like whine about it,
That's crazy.
It doesn't do anybody any favors by whining about it. And again, you're just basically asking for a handout. It's not like a physical, like, hey, can you please help me or whatever like that. It's like, can you please give me some attention,
That's crazy. Okay.
No, I think men need to be a little bit more, they need to internalize a little bit more and figure things out. And I think women can do this all day. They can literally complain about this all day in terms of like, oh, my life sucks because I basically put off being in a relationship with a man because I pursued a career, and I didn't want to have children because I wanted to play the field more, or I wanted to I wanted to have a hot girl summer, and all. It's like they made bad choices, so now this is where they are at. But we're not supposed to feel sorry for those women either, because those are their choices that they made, and no man should be coming to the rescue of a woman that is complaining that she stayed in the casino, walking around trying to see what her odds are of, hitting it big. She didn't cash out when she was, at the right age of, bearing children and starting a family and stuff like that. No, she stayed until she was like 39, 45, almost 50 years old. And now she's trying to settle down. Now she's realizing that, shit, I got to get my act together. But men, we got to get our act together from the jump, dude. We have to.
All of that is just wild, man.
Dude, nobody's coming to save you, okay?
Well,
Okay,
Sonic is sorry, Sonic is making the argument that like men will be able to upload videos like that, right? Like crying and stuff like that. Sonic, you're making that argument, right?
Themselves in the future when this entire like norm of like man shouldn't cry, should internalize all these emotions. Yeah, once that subsides, then you will see more and more men like come out and express themselves.
Nah, man.
Okay, so
please
Camp,
present the argument, man. Please present this, because honestly, dude, I just can't. I just think that is such a dismal future.
That's crazy. So like, Camp, like listen to this really quick, okay? So you're telling me all of this, like you're all like, dude, you gotta get your shit together. You got to. Bootstraps, and
nobody's gonna save you.
But here's the thing, though, like. So why do these AA meetings exist? Why do these people who like, they were once white supremacists and then they got out of it and now they're trying to help out the youth who are a part of that white supremacy? Why do these guys exist then? What's the point of them existing? If it doesn't help people, then why are these guys like going around talking about this stuff?
Well, I think there are some men that are completely lost and they have no thought process on how to get themselves out of the hole that they've dug themselves into.
Exactly.
Through their choices.
You see what I mean?
And through their trapped mindset of like spinning their wheels, going down this like depression and worry and just like, I'm never going to be good enough for anybody and da-da-da-da. It's like, it just all compounds and stuff like that. It's like, if you just let all that go and just like stop really giving a fuck about comparing yourself to other people and seeing like how other people are living their lives and, they're in successful relationships or they're successful in, finance and all that stuff like that. And they're living a really good, it's like, just get yourself out of that mindset that you need to compare yourself and keep up with other people. Your path is your path alone. And everybody gets to the end, whether they're, rich or they're penniless. I think for a man, it's all about impact. It's not about how much money you can earn and how many toys you have by the end of your life. Is that really because like I said, it's just the pursuit of things is like endless. The pursuit of money is endless. It's never going to fill you up.
No, man. Like, I think you misunderstand. Like, I think that people absolutely need to express themselves, because otherwise, how do we know who we're supposed to help? If men don't express themselves, they just go out there, they internalize these emotions. They don't go out there and get help. For the people who do go out there and get help, or not even help, but they talk about it online, the amount of support that they get is unbelievable. But yet you're sitting here telling them, like, you got to pick yourself up. Don't worry about, like, you shouldn't even worry. That shouldn't even be an emotion that you should express. Yeah, you have it in your psychology. Who cares? Just throw it away. I call that the appendix of the brain. So it's like, come on, man. Like,
Look,
nah,
if
dude,
you,
like,
look, man, if you're a weak male, okay, and you can't deal with the daily hardship of life, and it's just getting you down to the point where you just gotta reach out and be in a group of people and stuff that are going through the similar things, so you can find common ground and stuff, and maybe you can probably find the answers in other people's problems. Then maybe, I mean, if it solves it, then yeah. But I think there's people that are perpetually in therapy that stay in therapy and never improve.
but you're talking about like those sound like outliers, like probably like
No,
less
there's
than,
it's actually more
I mean,
common than you think, man.
you would say it's like 50% of the people.
I wouldn't say 50%, but I would say that there's a good majority of people that go to therapy, and it's in therapy. Sure, it could work for like certain type of traumas and stuff that you're trying to let go. Maybe forgive your parents and stuff, maybe for abusing you, or maybe, forgive, whatever. Basically, when you forgive somebody who caused you trauma, whether it's like, maybe an ex or something that, I don't know, maybe you had a nasty breakup or something, you forgive that person, you actually let go of that. That is something that is, it's in human psychology, and that's across both men and women, whatever traumas we have growing up as children. If we go back and we forgive the people that gave us that trauma, we let it go. Otherwise, we hold on to it, and it manifests itself in other ways, and it just creates another, it basically becomes part of our development, So yes, I do think that therapy does have its purpose in terms of like sorting through traumas and everything. But when it comes to like, you're like in this like depressive state of like, I just don't know what to do anymore. Like, I don't know how to figure myself out of this situation. Then you're obviously just giving up, It's like, I don't know. Call me a psychopath.
That does not sound like somebody who's giving up. That sounds like somebody who doesn't know the path to the destination that he wants. It's like you find somebody who's lost in the forest and they're all like, dude, I don't know where to go. Like, I've searched everywhere. It's like,
you obviously haven't searched everywhere. You obviously haven't searched everywhere if you say that. That's like that statement right there. I've searched everywhere. No, you have not. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the trapped mindset that I'm talking about. You think you've exhausted all options when really there are way more options than you know. So yes.
But to that person, there doesn't seem to be any more options. They seem like they've exhausted all of them.
That's what I call a limited.
This person who.
That's
wait.
That's a limited mindset.
There comes along this person who does have an extra option, which is the correct path that he took to get to him. And then if he follows that path back, he can find his way out potentially. Can we say that?
I definitely think there are different levels of life experience that people have. So when someone sees someone who has less life experience go through this weird depression that, oh my God, oh, woe is me, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's like, that these problems that you have right now over time is going to shrink over time. And you're going to realize, oh, wow, I don't know why I put so much energy into this fear or this like worry that I had, when I'm looking at it now, almost like a year later. I can't believe I put so much energy into that.
But that sounds like you're talking about somebody who just randomly suffers from depression. Like, oftentimes.
No, I'm just talking about life experience. People that go through stuff.
I understand that there's people who experience depression because they have an imbalance in their chemistry, their biological chemistry. But I'm talking about the people who have this depression that is induced from, a particular environmental stressor. Yeah, those guys, the ones that are saying like, man, like I don't know what to do, like this happened to me, this, that, or whatever. And then here comes along this person who does know, he's been down that path. He might not teach him, but perhaps he has some sort of like, tutorial on YouTube that he's showcasing how he did it, and then that guy, he gets interested. Like, I mean, we hear these stories all the time about how, like, you there's like these viewers that find these YouTubers, these, I don't know, whatever, like, somebody who knows how to draw, financial YouTubers, whatever. And then they go up to them later on in life and they say, if it wasn't for you, I would have never became a millionaire. If it wasn't for you, I would have never gotten good at drawing. And it's because these guys, they had a path, they had a successful path, and then these guys chose to emulate it when to them it seemed like there was no more options left.
I mean, what you just said is basically like a limited mindset that basically you You did your own digging, your own searching, your old soul searching, maybe your own YouTube searching, and you found somebody that maybe gave you a different perspective. Okay. Maybe somebody that maybe has also gone through that, but they did not choose to give up.
But what if
it all
they
comes
never
down
found
to
that person though?
Well, then they might find. I mean, the thing is, if they don't find that person, maybe they'll come to an epiphany, maybe through a book or something, or maybe they'll see something on a movie or whatever, and then maybe that will help them. But I honestly think it's just like anything that you put out into like this world and stuff in terms of like your impact, whatever you resist will persist. So if you are fearful for your life that you are going to go poor, that you're going to end up alone, and you're never going to be in a loving relationship, you are probably trapping yourself in that type of mindset where that will eventually happen to you. But if you have this optimism that, you know what, I'm going to work on myself, I'm going to make myself healthy. I'm going to get 8 hours of sleep. I'm going to work hard. Whatever I'm planning to do, whatever interests me and stuff like that, I'm going to turn that into some type of monetary business and pick myself up. Guess what? You're going to be more satisfied with that outcome than, because people, they get analysis paralysis all the time, dude, trying to search for gurus and people and shortcuts and how to like get rich quick and stuff like that, because they think that that's going to make them happy. There's plenty of billionaires out there that tell you that there's no real difference after you hit 20 million to $1 billion. There is no difference. It doesn't make you happy.
We're talking about like how an object makes a person feel. What I'm talking about is like, this like mentorship type of energy that's kind of going on here. Like if it wasn't for the people that they found online, they would probably still think that there's limited options. Because even for me, like every skill that I've learned, and trust me, I have a lot of skills. Every skill that I've learned, I've always went to go look for someone else who knew what they were talking about, somebody who can help me out. And it doesn't necessarily have to be going up to them in person and asking them for mentorship advice or whatever. It's usually like now in this day and age, we go out and we look for somebody online that has made a tutorial for them to teach us how they did it or what path they took to achieve that particular skill or whatever. That's what I'm trying to
having that type of mindset, wanting to help yourself, wanting to teach yourself, that is a valuable skill set. But there are people that don't even want to take that step. They're just like, I need my hand held, like I don't know what to do. And dude, it's like if you just have the willingness to learn and the willingness to better your situation, like you definitely don't want to be living like this. Then that has to be enough motivation for you to want the change.
Okay, so all of the people who are out there saying like that billionaires are evil and they're the ones who are destroying the economy.
That's a trap mindset. That's a trap mindset. That's like
all of them.
It is. Okay, because look, a billionaire does not concern their life with you. They probably don't even think about you, but you put all this time and energy into thinking about that billionaire and how evil they are and how, they pay less taxes than you because they get all these breaks and all this stuff. Like you get your mind gets filled up with all of this comparison to this other person. Whereas if you just focused on your own life in your own lane, stay in your lane, you wouldn't even be stressing yourself out or worrying about someone else. Just focus on the man in the mirror and your life will take off. It's not about comparing yourself to billionaires or anybody that's got more women or whatever, more shiny things than you. It's just like what I was talking about before, man. It's like whatever is fulfilling to you and whatever is, people can be content with very little, but I think that's kind of like, you got to get to that point where you have lost everything and there's no further down you can go. You've definitely hit rock bottom and now you can only go up from here. I think sometimes for some people, it takes losing everything to realize how much all that stuff that they thought they valued in their life, it ended up owning them, So
you and I agree on it to an extent, because you say it takes losing all of it to like get out of that rut or whatever the case is. To me, my voice cracked. Sorry, it's just I'm going through puberty again. No, no, but like to me, exactly, man. So like to me, we require this pressure. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to lose everything, but there does have to be some sort of pressure in order for us to evolve and to adapt and evolve. right? But my question is, if somebody is in a rut, how do you and they're trying to look for a way out, we're just supposed to just leave them in that rut? So, because this goes back to like men going online and then expressing their problems, which we're currently seeing. Like, there's a guy that I've been watching, literally talking about his problems, and it seems like he's getting a lot of support for that.
Sounds like you're taking on this person's.
That to himself?
It sounds like you're taking on this person's problems too. You know, that's what it sounds like.
I'm listening. I'm not taking it on his problems. I'm just listening to him. I'm like, yeah, you know what, man, I can relate to you in that aspect. And then there'll be some other videos.
But no,
where
I'm saying that's
like,
why. That is why you're willing to listen to him, because you relate to him.
Exactly.
If you
and I understand that emotion.
Well, if you understood for what it was, you're like, okay, this guy is definitely, he's seeking attention, and that is not manly, in my opinion.
Not. I mean, listen, man, I don't know if he's doing it for attention, but perhaps he just wants to connect with somebody. I mean, that's never crossed your mind. Perhaps he just wants to connect with somebody because he feels lonely.
I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe he's looking for a connection or whatever, but I think,
so you see how it's not just for like attention. So then when these women go out there and they when these women go out there and they're expressing their situation and their problems, you think that they're going out there because they want to look for attention?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely, they are.
Some of them probably so, but a good majority of people are probably, they want to just connect with somebody, because we're living in this day and age with, like, even Cavo's mentioned it, you know, like we have like the loneliness epidemic that affects men currently. Now women are going to be affected by that, and I talked about it in a video before. You're going to see this explode in a couple years, probably like in 2 or 3. You can see that this loneliness epidemic is exploding, and men and women want someone to connect with. And so when you're saying that these guys are just doing it for attention, that's really doing a disservice to a lot of the people who are trying to find an alternative to help themselves from this loneliness. You know,
the reality of the situation for men is that they are invisible to women. There's like 80% of men that are invisible to women. And then for women, there are like endless amounts of men that don't meet their standard.
But that's just an idea that you just sell to yourself. Like, that's
exactly that is a reality that is very real.
Okay, but you do realize that there's a lot of people out there, middle class people, who convince themselves that billionaires are evil because they think they don't want to. They're told that they cannot achieve wealth because these billionaires are taking everything. They're draining them financially. I mean, can't you say the same thing about them?
We're talking about billionaires again, and how
no. I'm talking about like the idea, how poisoning rhetoric is. The fact that somebody's telling this person who's in the middle class, who dreams of being a millionaire one day, but can't because other people keep telling him that he can never be a millionaire because these billionaires or millionaires are draining him financially. That's kind of the same thing that's going on with the dating scene, where you have like all of these men and women that are convincing each gender that you can't achieve something because men are evil. They're putting you down, all of this, so you don't go out there and you don't look for them, and you start to convince yourself that you're invisible to the other gender. Well, that's what you're doing right now.
I definitely think that there are men that are completely invisible to women. I think if a woman was to walk into like a CVS or whatever, and you know, after she gets whatever she gets out of there, leaves the store, and then you pull her aside and ask her like, hey, so can you tell me anything about the person that rang up your stuff today at CVS? She'd be like, no, not really. Like, I didn't really give it a thought, you know, because it's just like women aren't looking at men like that, you know.
So you're drawing up a scenario that aligns with your narrative. That's what you're doing right now.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Let's say something a little bit more concrete. Okay. So if we are going to look at dating apps in terms of, the uses, in terms of what men use it for and what women use it for. Yes, there is a percentage of women that use dating sites to just hook up because there are whores and, you know, whatever. That's probably the last time I'll say that word. But, and then men, you know, they use it, of course, to get easy access to women and stuff. But there are also majority of women that are using it as a funnel to their corn site. And they never have the intention of actually having seeking relationship on a dating site. Whereas men, there are men that are. So it's like you're already kind of starting off in a deficit, trying to go there to trying to find a relationship, because that's not the type of demographic of people that go to those things.
Yeah, but like a company, an entity is in control of that environment. So like when you're going into that environment, you're being exploited. If you're a man, you're being exploited by this company. So I think that's a very unfair example to use.
Yeah, I mean, well, men have to pay and women kind of get it for free, pretty much.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't think
again,
women
because
have to
like
pay
they
to
want
be
to
on those
exploit
websites,
them.
you know? Or I'm sorry,
They
pay to
want
be on
to
the dating sites.
Yeah, but like these companies want to exploit the loneliness of these men. At least that's what it seems like it's going on. Because I
No,
mean,
it's
like every
true.
single time,
It's true.
yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't done enough research into that, but like based off of what I've seen from other YouTubers and things online, it seems like that's the case. But I haven't done a deep dive, so I don't want to like say for sure. But it seems like that's the case.
It just seems like women are not they're not using it in the way that it's supposed to be intended, which is, you know, maybe it is, maybe there's a sinister plot, whatever, to maybe never match people together and basically just fund the illusion of a possibility. But what I believe is that, you know, it's a company at the end of the day. They're trying to make profits and stuff like that. So if they can string you along with like possible matches or whatever like that, but then like the woman is never going to actually like, maybe it's not even a real woman. Maybe it's just like a bot or something. Because, you know, we got AI now. Men can actually cosplay as hot women now because the AI has gotten that good. And that's a whole scam on its own. I think it's just going to get to a point where there's no real people on these dating sites and stuff. And it's a wash, you know, like everybody's going to have to eventually go back to the original way of doing things, which was walking up to people and talking and developing your interpersonal relationship skills and just try to like be normal, you know, and don't be so, you know, attached to your phone and having to like know everything about a person. The mystery is going to come back, you know, like the wanting to know more about a person through conversation rather than just, you know, scrolling on their Instagram, you know.
That's crazy. But
that's what I think it should. I think that's what it should revert to.
Right, but we have a new medium, which is like the internet and social media and all of that. And you're telling me that we shouldn't use that tool?
I don't think it leads to anything fruitful.
Isn't there like a number that like 70% of people now meet online or something like that?
Sure. I mean, I met my wife online, but not like that. I mean, we were just playing a game of Clash of Clans or whatever, and it was completely just a friendship that developed into a relationship because I took the risk of going across the world to meet this person, you know, in real life. You know, I took the risk. She didn't take the risk, but me as a man, I took the risk. I think men aren't willing to take the risk these days, and I think that's why they want things too easy. You know,
well, I mean, like
they want women to meet them halfway, and that's never going to happen. Women are too. Well, I've said this before. Women cannot take rejection. They can't. They just do not deal well with it. So what do? They avoid it. They avoid any type of putting themselves out there. Yeah, sure, they'll make a TikTok or so, like trying to approach a guy, you know, be like, hey, you know, how are you? And just they fall flat on their face because, you know, it's like women are never put in that position, but they put themselves in that position just for like content and stuff. But like in real life, it just doesn't go down like that.
But you do realize, I mean, like, dude, like I've had a lot of women friends. Okay,
I'm sure.
No, yeah, dude. Like a lot of these women, they want to go up to men. Like they genuinely want to go up to them. They even ask me, "How can I do it?" And obviously, because I just tell them, "Well, I just make you guys as friends," and then like, you know, that's how it happens. Like, you know, eventually someone's gonna like you if you become their friends. But they don't approach it like that. They just go up to them and they think that cold approaching is gonna work. Which to me, cold approaching has never worked for me. So I don't recommend that. But they still do it because I've helped encourage them to go and do it.
Did you give up on cold approaching? Because it just
I don't cold approach because it doesn't work. It's at least to me.
Or it hasn't worked yet.
It hasn't worked for me. I'll put it like that. What's worked for me is meeting because I don't feel like I mean, I don't even need to cold approach. If I have a question to ask somebody, I'll just ask the question. But if like normally, like usually, like the way I meet girls or women, it's just through other women and men. Like they have men and women. So like we bring some of them into the group, and you know that's how it works out for us.
Were you saying something, Cavos?
Oh no, I wasn't. Sorry.
Okay. What I was thinking about your statement just now about you know, I guess being friends with a woman first and stuff like that. That can work for certain situations and stuff, but I think being friends with multiple girls, I don't know if that's beneficial in terms of like trying to, because I think what you just described is that, you know, you're kind of like a wingman for a woman. Like women look at you as kind of like an equal in terms of like, hey, how do I get this guy to notice me? Like they're confiding in you for that. Whereas,
yeah, and that's okay. I don't mind that. Like, you know, like I'm telling you, dude, like it's not just wingman too. Like you
that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, though.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you're willing to be a wingman for a man. Why aren't you willing to be a wingman for a woman? Because she's a woman? Because you think that she's friend zoning you or something like that?
No, that's exactly what it is. I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, if she friend zoned me, that's even better for me because I don't want like girl, like bro, like I think that I really don't think.
Wait. Can you say that one more time? Because I think you cut out a little bit. Say that. Just say what you said just now. Like one more time.
Okay. I don't remember what I said. I said that like
you said that you.
Where was I at?
You were talking about. You said, shit. Damn it. The way you said it just now. I don't know if anybody was listening. You said you don't. Okay. I think you said, and correct me if I'm wrong. You're like, if a woman friend zones me, that's fine because I don't. What did you say?
Oh yeah.
What did you say?
If a woman friend zones me, that's even better for me because I don't want to have a girlfriend. I don't want to. But here's the thing. Again, like men, I don't know, like, you know, if men have girlfriends in their lives, but like, you know, when I've had girlfriends in my life, like at least 2 or 3 of them end up liking me, and it's very difficult to navigate that. You know, I really don't think that men really understand, men who haven't had friends as girls, I don't think they understand just how difficult it is to navigate a girl that likes you. You know, especially when the girl's in your group.
Like a girl that likes you, but you don't like them.
But I don't like them. Yeah, stuff like that.
That's very easy to navigate. What are you talking about? If a woman likes you, but you don't like her, I think that's very easy because you have the upper hand and you can keep her at a certain distance and nothing can ever develop from it because you don't like her. What are you talking about?
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you know, like it would require like somebody to be friends with like women to understand this. So the reason why it's difficult for me to reject them is because they're a part of the group. Everybody knows them. If I reject her, that's going to make her feel a certain way. And then there's going to be all these girls who are going to come up to me and say, why don't you give her a chance? And then I have to like repeatedly say like, look, it's just, she's not for me. And then she's going to like feel a certain way. She's not going to want to be a part of the group. Then we're going to lose another member. We're going to feel bad because she was actually pretty cool. Like this is stuff that like goes through our minds. Like when like something like this happens. You know,
I think what you just said is hilarious, man. Like the social pressure of like a man telling you, hey, give this woman a chance. Like, fuck you. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to curse. Sorry, that's my fault. Sorry. Won't do that again. This is my life, okay? I get to do what I want in terms of like who I want to be with and stuff. Don't come and tell me that, oh, I did. You give her a chance if you want me to give her a chance so bad. Like, what are you talking about? No man does that. No man comes into it. Maybe you should give her a chance. Nah, dude. No, you've crossed the line as a man telling another man you need to give this woman a chance. Like, who are you? To say that? That's ridiculous, dude. That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard ever from you.
They'll probably say it just in like a joking way. Like,
yeah,
I don't
like
think
not
probably,
serious, bro.
Pressure you to do it, you know?
Unless your friends are serious, Sonic. Oh, go give her a chance. Are they being serious or are they like hee? Give that chubby.
No, they're being serious. Like,
oh my God.
Like, this isn't a
you need
joke,
to get some
man.
better
Like,
friends, Sonic. Fuck. Sorry, didn't mean to curse. But no, you gotta give some better friends, dude. Like, seriously, like you can't have somebody telling you how to live your life, bro. And who you need to date
they're not
and whatever.
telling me how to live it. They're
give
like
her another
either suggesting
chance.
her or they're asking like, why don't you give her a chance? And I'll explain to them, well, I don't want to give her a chance. Between you and me, I don't want to give her a chance because the way she speaks about people is not something that I can get with. Because when she talks about somebody, she makes her sound like she makes this person sound like the worst person. Can you imagine if I'm like with this person, how the hell she's gonna paint me? I can't be with a girl like that. What do you think that's gonna do for my reputation? Literally, dude, the reason why I'm telling you this is because this happened to me. This was a real.
No, I believe every thought process you have is based off of your own experiences, which is the same for me as well. And that's why I can like when I'm hearing you say this, it just makes me like, why are you even putting yourself through that? You know, it's like, that is such an easy answer. If you don't like the girl, that's the end of it. That is the roadblock. Okay, there should be no take some time to consider this. Like, no, dude. Like, if you don't like her, you don't like her, and that's the end of it. There's none of this like dancing around like, well, you know, I don't want to break up the friend group and stuff. Like, dude, I don't care about no friend group like that. You know, if that's what they've
sound like it's just simple as black and white.
People are
to it.
no. I'm just saying, like, if you're not attracted to somebody that's attracted to you, it's I mean, that is kind of one thing, and how it's kind of the same with men and women. If a woman's not attracted to you, you know, and you're attracted to her, which is mainly the case, she's going to reject you, and she's not going to have any type of like feeling sorry, whatever. Like, I'm sorry that I don't like you. Like, that's just, I'm sorry. I just don't find you attractive. You're just not my type. I hope you can get over that. You know, like, women are completely, I guess, I don't know. It's like, it's easier for them to handle that, because it's like they do that all the time. They're turning down guys all the time. They're good. It's like a second what's it called, muscle memory, I guess. You know, women do it so much. It's not a thing, you know, that they get all torn up about. A man should be kind of the same way in that sense. Like, if you don't like a girl that likes you, you shouldn't be trying to give her a chance or trying to find ways to qualify her. No, it's like, why change who you are to appease someone that you don't like?
I mean, I'm not doing that. I'm not quantifying her. I'm telling her, like, no, you know, you're just not for me. And then that's when the questions start. Well, why don't you give her a chance? Wait, why is that the case? You know, so
I think you should be more savage.
I don't know what else to explain.
You should,
I mean,
no,
if
you
you've
should
experienced it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't experienced it, then, you know, you're pretty much
I kind of know
running on theory.
I kind of know what Sonic is talking about.
I mean, I've been in situations too where a girl has liked me and I have not liked her. I think every man has, or every man should, you know, will have that situation happen eventually in their life. But I think, you know, you as a man should know what you like and what you don't like, you know, and you shouldn't be influenced by anybody other than yourself. You know?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
Just stand 10 toes down on whatever you decide. I mean, you already have like this strong stance on like how like men and women are kind of equal in that sense, you know? But like you still have your preferences and what you're attracted to, right? So like, don't change that for anybody, because that's just gonna leave you unhappy. Make sense?
I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Repeat that last part, because I didn't hear that last part.
Son of a bitch, Sonic. Okay, so if a girl likes you but you don't like her, you shouldn't have to change the way you are, or try to appease her. Well, it sounds like you're. Well, I mean, okay, maybe you're not like.
I'm just telling her the reason why I don't want to date her. Why I don't want to.
Yeah, like
that's fine.
He's like annoyed by it. Sounds like it.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. To me, it sounds like you're kind of opening the door for this kind of conversation to happen, for them to like come to you and be like, maybe you should give her a chance, and be like, who are you to tell me that? You know, why don't you go date her? That's like my automatic like knee-jerk reaction for somebody to say that kind of thing.
I mean,
I think you just need to be a little bit more savage, Sonic. That's all.
No, yeah, I promise you, man. Like, it's not even about being more savage. That's just the dynamics, you know. Like, when you reject a girl, like, they want to know why. Like, okay, well, can I know why? Like, I mean, if you know somebody and then you're attracted to them, even as a man, and then you go up to a woman and you ask her, like, you know, would you go out with me? I'm pretty sure you're curious to know why. You know, can you at least tell me that?
Well, I mean, most women will say, well, I always see you as a friend.
Well, I mean, because you do agree that they still ask the question, why, right?
Yes, but I think women are used.
That's what the woman did to me. The woman who liked me, you know, that's what she did to me. She's like, well, why? You know, and then I told her, I'm not interested in. I told her that, you know, I'm just not interested. I forgot what I told her, but I know it wasn't what I told you, which is I don't want to grow. At the time, like, I wasn't thinking that.
Uh-huh.
But then that's when they came to me and they asked me, like, well, why don't you want to give her a chance? I knew that I couldn't tell this girl, like, you know, it's because of your personality. That shit sucks, you know. But
why didn't you
excuse
say
me,
that though?
my apologies.
Why didn't
Huh?
you say that though? Do you think that if you had said that, then she would possibly take steps to maybe change that behavior, so that maybe if another guy that's kind of similar to your like your type comes along, maybe she'll have a better success because maybe she changed that attitude because you were honest with her?
Well, I mean, it again, because like, you know, we're very complex. We're not just one type of personality. We're not archetypes. With her, because she was decently cute, she was all right. But it was just the personality. I could not get behind the personality, and I didn't want to say anything to her because again, like we had a cohesive dynamic. She was really chill with us, really cool with us. But the way she would
Cohesive
talk about
dynamic. Are we
people-
talking about a friendship? A mutual friends?
Yeah, like the cohesion of the group,
Uh-huh.
like the dynamic of the
Okay.
group, it was relatively peaceful. Like, you know, we were all vibing. She had her flaws, right, that I absolutely did not agree with. And I just genuinely didn't want to be around for certain times. But to
You should tell her that.
involve myself with this woman, that would mean that I would have to give myself a good portion of myself to her. And then she would have to give a good portion of herself to me. I don't want that bad. The way she speaks about people, I don't want that in my life. I don't want her saying anything about me to other people.
You should
because the way
never
she
have to
makes other
subject
people
yourself to any type of negativity that you don't want to be
That's
around.
the reason why I rejected her, because I didn't want to. I didn't want
But
to.
that the way how you were easily able to just like say that to me, because you know maybe you didn't see her as like, you know, any type of romantic thing like that. You should have nothing to lose. You know, it's like unless you value her so much as a friend that you don't want to lose her as a friend.
I mean, I can't do that, man. Like, you know, there's still people in our friend group that still likes her, and you know, I just can't. I couldn't risk that, you know, because
Couldn't
if
risk
I put
what?
her in a
Wait,
bad
wait.
mindset, 'cause
No.
again, one of the biggest things why I didn't want to be with this woman was because of the way she was, like the way she would talk about people. She talks about people in a way where she seems like she's the victim, and she makes the other person sound tremendously horrible. I don't want to do anything to this woman that will, you know, when I'm not around anymore, she's gonna start saying stuff about me because obviously, you know, she likes me. She's gonna be saying stuff about me behind my back. I don't want that. So
Sure.
I don't want. I'm thinking about that in my mind. I'm like, I don't want to upset this one because she's gonna make me look like a monster. So by me telling her what I told her in a very euphemistic way. I told her, listen, I'm just not interested at the moment. Like, you know, I kind of want to focus on my work or whatever the case. Whatever I told her, I know it wasn't anything about her, and you know, we left it at that. And that
I
was it.
mean, you said
People
that
ask
she has
questions,
a
but that-
victim mindset. I think that's good.
Yeah, she has a persecution complex.
I think that's good that you cut her out.
That
In terms of like not letting her pursue it any further, because that is you protecting your peace. Okay. Now, if you were to kind of do that from the jump, you know, like kind of directly how you just told me, because, you know, there's no judgment over here in terms of like the way you do things. I think, you know what's best for you in terms of your situation and the people that you know and all that stuff and how to handle it. I'm just looking at it from an outside perspective that if you were just more direct with her, she would probably take the steps to change that behavior, and she would probably come out as a better person.
no, she wouldn't. Trust me. We were
Okay.
like before she,
Okay, wait.
before
Now
we kicked her out of the group-
speaking in absolutes that a woman cannot change. Now
No,
you're
I'm talking
doing
about
that.
just her. I'm not talking about women. I'm talking about just her. When
Okay.
we confronted
I
her,
mean, she is part of the whole
she didn't
female-
accept anything. She was always like flipping it against us.
Okay.
That's what led us to kicking her out. Which, by the way, we ended up kicking her out like a couple months later, like probably like
Okay.
8 or 9 months later.
So she
because,
did it
we
herself.
couldn't take it anymore. She
Yeah.
was literally making some of the people in the group look absolutely egregious, and we're all like, dude, like we can't have this person in our group anymore. Like we got to get rid of her. Imagine if I would have been her boyfriend. Holy crap, man, the mess that I would have gotten.
If you
myself
would have been
into.
her boyfriend, you would have been compromising on your own values, and you should never do that as a man.
No, because yeah, exactly. Because I recognized that. I was like, look, if I get with this woman, I know for a fact that my confidence is gonna dip. I'm gonna be looked at by everybody else as a perpetrator because she was really good at looking like a victim. Yeah, like I'm straight on that. Like, you know, that's just how it unfolded, you know.
Well, hey, man, I think that's great that you were able to do that, because I think, there are some men that will just take whatever they can get, whether they like the girl or not. They're just like, well, this is play. This is something temporary. It's not something that I see as a long-term relationship, but I can at least get something out of it,
Yeah. Unfortunately, you have no idea just how correct you are. Because like, dude, like I literally have a friend right now who like is like dating this woman who has
Wait, hold
BPD.
on. We're debating. Don't talk about me how correct I am.
I mean, like I was just trying to tell you a story. Like,
no, go ahead.
It's crazy. Like how like a man, like one of our friends is like literally dating a woman who has like BPD, and like
what's
it's
that?
like the worst for him.
What's that?
Huh?
What's BPD? I don't know what that is.
Borderline personality disorder.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, dude. Like it's terrible, man. And like, see, like that's exactly his position is exactly what I wanted to avoid because now he can't get out of it. He tries to get out of it.
Oh no, he can get out of it. He can totally get out of it.
No, but he can't though because like the woman continuously like seduces him, like convinces him of like.
Well, that's because he's weak. That's because he's weak. He's weak in that aspect. He needs to be able to stay true in his conviction. If he's in a situation, does he have kids with her?
No.
Is he married to her?
No.
So he's not tied to her in any way possible. He can totally leave her if he wants.
I know it doesn't make any sense, but trust me when I tell you, man, like we've tried to help him, but he can't get out of it.
Well, you can't help a man that doesn't want to help himself.
Well, it's not that he doesn't want to help himself. It's just that like his confidence has dipped majorly and like he doesn't have the confidence.
She's probably worn him down to a little nub, so he probably doesn't know who he is.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly why I wanted to avoid that girl who liked me because I knew who she was. I was like, this is exactly how I'm going to turn out.
You know what you just said, Sonic? You basically learned from other people's experiences, okay? And that's kind of how, I think a lot of men should really take this advice for, is that you don't necessarily always have to take the path of least resistance. Sometimes you can see somebody who is making mistakes and see how it wears them down and how it brings them down this like mental path where they feel like there's no way out, and you avoid it because you learn from it. You don't necessarily have to do the same things and stuff like that, but you can learn from it and make sure that never happens to you.
Yeah, but like the thing is that I didn't have to learn from it. Like I was already equipped with the tools to avoid a situation like that. Cause you know me, man, like I come from the political world. Like I understand, I love politics. I've been in it for like the past 8 years, and politics has taught me a lot about, deception tactics, rhetoric, all of that. And I was able to use those skills to make sure that this woman did not come into my life because I knew what was coming for me, Well,
that's just you protecting your peace, okay? That's kind of one of the core tenets of what men really kind of strive for is peace, whether it's peace through solitude or peace in a relationship. If we can be with a woman that can give us peace, dude, that's huge.
Right. I do agree with that. Like, I was protecting my peace as well, but like, I can't deny the fact that like, I was just prepared for the situation. Most men are not prepared for that type of situation, because
they have to go through
right
it
now,
first.
like there's a lot of men who are.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I think that's something that I agree with Camp right there. I think that's something that they just have to go through. It's
a rite of passage, man. Every man gets his heart broken, early in life, and they realize that, oh, I don't need to love this hard and this ultimate, or this absolute, because if you do that, you are going to push people away. Because it's like when you're with somebody, it's like that is something that you need to kind of look at it as a day at a time, not in terms of like 5 years or 10 years, whatever in the future and stuff like that. Like you need to just take it one day at a time, because if you try to like go too hard too fast and you just like you run out of steam, it's just like kind of with content, whatever. If you're like putting out 10 videos every week and stuff, yeah, you're going to eventually burn yourself out because you're just going so hard. But if you just take it one day at a time, and don't put so much pressure on yourself to be like this perfect relationship and stuff like that, like you have fights, you have disagreements and stuff, and you experience the ups and downs, whatever, you realize that I can actually handle a lot when I've been through this many experiences, because I realize that it's not the end of the world, it's not the end of the relationship. You actually come out stronger the more conflict you have. But if you guys don't
about that.
no. If you don't see eye to eye from the jump, like if you guys aren't like generally interested in one another, then yeah, it will never work, dude. It will always be a constant power struggle. And someone always gets left out. You know, someone's always trying to left out, like, oh, maybe I could have done something different. You know, maybe I could have won them over. But, you know, that's the same thing that men have. Men like to have that mindset that, like, oh, if I just pay for her, you know, on this date and stuff like that, if I just keep taking her out and just showing her that I'm this provider male and stuff like that, and I'm willing to put her on this pedestal, that I can eventually buy her affection, and maybe she'll give me that kiss. Maybe she'll make me Facebook official with her or something like that. And it never happens because you have this idea that this approach works when really it doesn't. A woman will take advantage of you for as long as you want to provide for her.
Yeah, maybe.
No, not maybe, dude. Absolutely. If you become this guy that is just like, I just want to just put you on this pedestal, I want to give you the whole world, I want to like just, as soon as I get money, I want to spend it on you, you know? That's gonna like, a woman's gonna look at that and be like, okay, this guy is obviously a trick. He's obviously a mark. I can definitely take advantage of this guy. And I don't really actually have to do that much because he's all about me, you know? But
that's crazy.
If you
like,
are
it's crazy how like you're drawing up this entire like scenario.
Dude,
it probably doesn't even play out
I've
like that.
seen it. I've seen it, bro. That's why I'm talking like this.
Okay, but you've seen it with like one person though. But like,
no, I've seen it with multiple men. It's pattern behavior, recognition. Okay, and every young guy that like goes down this path of, you know, being this pedestalizer of women, you know, thinking that they're sugar and spice and everything nice, and that, you know, they would never do anything bad to me and all that stuff. It's like, you have to go through that. You have to get burned in order to realize that I gotta stop being this type of guy. You know, I need to start focusing on my own life and creating my own value.
Guys, though, that's not all guys. Like, dude, like
it's a rite of passage,
guys.
dude.
Like, I come from a group of guys who were like mostly womanizers, all of them, and they all try to get me to like become womanizers. They pierced my ear. They made me dress up in like with a tie and sunglasses.
Wait, hold on. Wait, which ear?
Both ears.
I just never mind. I just, what I was gonna say is that I'm sorry, dude. You just triggered a memory because, you know, like I remember growing up in school, you know, like if you had your ear pierced on like the right side or something like that, it meant you swung for the other team, basically.
Yeah. I remember that.
Okay, so but you know, both ears, that kind of throws off the scent, I guess, a little bit, kind of conceals you a little bit. But I don't know, man. The only thing I will say, Sonic, is that trying to like be, I don't know. You need to be more direct. The way that you're direct with me, you need to be like that all the time. You will actually get more fulfillment out of life if you are more direct with people. If you do not compromise your values and your happiness or whatever for others, and you just like, no, man, like, look, I don't want to be anywhere near you. Okay. You suck the life out of me. You don't have to say nothing. Okay. That's what you need to say to people, because that is like, people will be like, okay, well, obviously there's no changing this person's mind. I need to either fix myself or go the other way, you know? And I mean, you know what? Like, at the end of the day, you're going to get what you want because you didn't want to have anything to do with this person.
It's just very difficult to do that when like everybody's convinced that this person is a victim. It's very difficult to do that, man.
Dude, cut all the victims out of your life. Cut all the victims out of your life, dude.
Well, that's what we did. Like we've kicked out so many people out of our group. Like it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But I'll tell you guys that. I'll tell you all of that like some other time, because I kind of gotta have to go already. I
knew it. I knew it was gonna happen, dude. This is the shortest debate ever, dude. We didn't even make it to the 2-hour mark.
We did. Like we started at 11:30, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah, that was preamble.
Yeah, it's like
okay,
1:30, isn't it?
We're just getting,
we are just getting started.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
I still feel like there's a lot to
Is it past your bedtime right now?
No, I have to go pick up somebody at the airport right now.
Don't lie to me. I don't care about that.
No, be serious.
You think I care about that? I don't care about that. Who is this person to you? Is this your best friend? Are you pedestal?
My relatives.
Your relatives. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go pick them up.
Do we need to do a part 2 of this? I mean, I don't really think we made any ground whatsoever. There was no closing argument. There was nothing. there was no arguments here. This is just like, you know, I got some victims in my life. Okay, well, cut that out. That's it. You know, it just seems like you just need to be more direct. And you will be happier at the end of the day.
Me, man. Oh, like,
no,
I'm
dude.
telling you, man.
If you are direct,
if you're too direct with somebody, with a person who is a victim, or at least paint themselves as a victim, and everybody believes that they're a victim, guess what? You're gonna be the bad guy because everybody sees this person as a victim. I'm telling you guys from the experience with this woman that I'm telling you, man, she's gonna nuke your life if you guys do that.
Sometimes it's better. Sometimes it's better to be the villain than the good guy, you know, in certain circumstances, you know, because if it protects your peace, I mean, look what you did. You know, you were able to. Everybody else around you was able to kind of come to the same consensus that this person is kind of a soul sucker. You know,
because I kept screaming it out over and over.
Oh, is that being direct, Sonic?
Until they started seeing it themselves.
Oh, you were being direct. You were screaming it out.
No, I wasn't being direct, but I was telling people like, hey, listen, you got to watch out with her because she can paint you in a really bad way. Just saying, you know, and I will say that. I will say that to these people, you know.
So, well, you need to say it to all people, not just these people. You need to say it to everybody.
Well, I mean, I said it to I say these people because some of them are no longer friends. You know, we had to kick them out too because they were
good. You got nothing to lose then. Perfect.
Well, I mean, now I got nothing to lose because I feel like we have a much better friend group, although it's a lot smaller now. But like, that comes with getting older, man. Your circle will get smaller. That's just kind of the fact of life, you know. You realize that people drop out, you know, and the real ones stay. It's kind of been the opposite for me. I feel like I've attracted a little too many people, so I have to kind of like lock up the gates. So right now I'm not letting anybody in right now. But I've been thinking about like letting people in, but I don't know.
Pause. Anyway, what I will say is, you know, just, I mean, don't close yourself off to possibilities, you know, in terms of like the opposite sex, you know, because it just seems like, I don't know. To me, I think I have a healthier view of women, whereas like you were just like this whole like, I'm not trying to mess with that. I'm trying to focus on myself. Okay, you know what? You sound like a woman right now. I'm not trying to.
Oh my God!
I'm not trying to, you know, settle down with a man and have a kid and stuff. I'm trying to focus on myself. You know, I've heard that before.
That's crazy.
No, I'm just saying. You know, everybody's got their own life path. Sure, you know, go get your bag or go chase whatever career you're going to do and stuff. If that gives you fulfillment, then go for it.
I'm telling you, if you had my wisdom, you'd probably be so much smarter right now. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Shit, if I didn't mean to cuss, but if I had your wisdom, dude, I'd be struggling in friendships and relationships, and
oh my God,
I wouldn't know how to tell a woman no and all this stuff.
Like, if you were in my position, I guarantee you that woman would have ran circles around you. She ran circles.
What are you talking about, dude? Nobody runs circles around me, dude. What are you talking about?
This woman ran circles with most men in our group. Most men cannot.
So what you're telling me is that you have a circle of weak men around you. That's what it sounds like. If a woman is running circles around men, that's a ring of losers to me.
A lot of these men have different interests. Fortunately for me, I was the one with I was the man with the interest in politics, with rhetoric, with literature, and I was able to see how she was manipulating these words because I had that skill. Not everybody's gonna have that skill. They're not all going to be able to fish her out. I was just so lucky. I was lucky to be a part of that group, and I was able to tell all the other men, like, listen, the way she twists these words, it may not seem like she's being a victim, but she is absolutely playing the victim. Just listen to how she talks, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Look at her actions. Let
me ask you this question. Do you think that she's unique in any way in terms of playing a victim?
I think that I
be careful. I've only
ever came across two people. Actually, no, two people who were no.
Oh no.
I would say that she is probably unique in her own way. Whereas, like, I've had other toxic people in a more savage, more explosive rage. You know, like, I think that they have different styles. I haven't came across a person with her similar style, but yeah, there's definitely different types out there. I'll say that.
Okay. But you don't think that that's kind of common amongst most women, is that they will play the victim in order to get favor or to garner sympathy? Do you not think that that's something common?
Sometimes they're guided by certain ideas. Like, you know, like if you know women, then you know that there are times where women want the attention of men a lot of times, and they'll do things that like kind of throw other people under the bus, or sometimes makes other people look good inadvertently. It all depends, man. Like, you know, we all have different incentives, and it just depends on, like, you know, like what they think, what they value, and stuff like that. But like, I really gotta go. I'll talk to you guys about this more soon, and then you know, you can rip me apart, like, you know.
Oh no, we
some other
will.
time for
We
sure.
will. We're not over. Okay. Like I'm gonna still go on for another 2 hours actually, so we can discuss this because, I think that I don't think we really solved anything. I think we just kind of opened up a little bit. But I think, you know, I think there's a lot more soul searching we need to do in terms of, you know, what we need to fix about ourselves. I don't know, man. Maybe a perspective change might be in order. You know, maybe a whole attitude change about like, hey, you know, I don't need to be so flexible with my values. You know, like I need to be. I mean, I just think you should. I think if you are more direct, your life will be so much happier. You won't be.
You
Yeah. No, I believe that.
I think you have to be water, man. You gotta adapt to what the environment is.
Okay,
asking for.
okay,
If you're
okay,
like
Bruce Lee.
if you're water and like, you know, you get poured into a teacup, you don't want to be a square, you know, like, because obviously that's not what it's demanding. You just gotta adapt, man. If not, then, you know, expect the consequences to be a lot more savage and brutal. So,
Why are we
I'll
talking
go ahead
about
and leave it there, man.
consequences, Sonic? Why are we talking about victim? This is victim mentality we're talking about. You're talking about
Well, because
consequences.
you're saying that I compromised my values because
you don't want to hurt people's feelings.
because I didn't want to face certain consequences. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would prefer to exchange certain consequences for others. But
Okay.
again, like, I will talk about this some other time. I really, really gotta go.
All right, Sonic. I hope you have a good
yes.
night. If there's anything that's you're working on, because I know you kind of took a little bit of a hiatus. I didn't see any videos. I don't know what's going on with you. Do you have anything coming down the pipeline in terms of your
Oh
channel?
yeah, I've already made a couple videos. I'm gonna be a lot more like just interacting with people now, talking about social issues, a little bit of politics every now and then, but stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah. So expect me a lot more. I'm gonna be coming back. I'm glad that I took my hiatus because, man, politics was just eating away at my soul, man. It really was.
Well, Machiavelli just said, if you're trying to adapt, that means you submitted. So that's a kind
Okay,
of.
I mean, like, if he wants to, Machiavelli, right? If he wants to you know, be firm with who he is, and, like, you know, it's worked for him, then by all means continue what you're doing, brother. Like, you know, it's working for you. But I know that, like, my technique, my adaptation technique has worked for me, and it's gotten me out of a lot of what I think a lot of potential serious consequences that I would have faced if I would have just been firmed. You know, I don't have the personality he has to handle that kind of consequence. Maybe he does, I don't, you know, so I know my limits.
All right. Well, fair enough, Sonic. I guess if you want to continue this conversation another time, I'm always open. You know, you're always welcome here on the channel.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
I hope you have a good night, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Cavos, for moderating. He's not here anymore. He left.
Yeah, he left. But I'm definitely gonna let anybody, if you guys want to tag in, join the golf voice chat on Discord. I'll post that if anybody wants to join in. We'll
and if you
open
guys
it up.
want to see, and if you guys want to see Camp's reaction to how we had this conversation or debate, go ahead and go over to his channel, camphustle1. I'll link it down below. Go check him out. Give him support as well. Subscribe to him. He's an awesome dude. He talks about you know, Manosphere and usually other affairs as well. Highly recommend him. You guys will enjoy him. So yeah.
Thank you for
go
saying
check
that,
him out.
Sonic. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no problem, man. Because I don't even know if I'm still gonna upload this video. I gotta check the levels. Hopefully it came out good. Otherwise it's just gonna be another scrap video. But I hope it came out good though.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully it did. And man. Hopefully we can have this conversation again, man.
Yeah, definitely. Alrighty then, guys.
Take it easy, Sonic.
Take it easy, guys.
Peace.
Alrighty.
All right. So that was Sonic Mindscape. Let me go ahead and get him off screen. Let me go ahead. I'm going to invite you guys to voice if you want. Let me get this. Just do massive invites for anybody. But yeah. That was the conversation. I like I said, I had no idea how to prepare for that. I didn't know what the entire debate was going to be on. I knew it was going to be on certain views that I had on a past live stream, but Sonic didn't really let me know what was going to happen. So, I guess I never got into. I need to join voice in order for you guys to join in. Teen Toes with Ghost, welcome, sir. Welcome to the stream. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Camp. How are you doing?
Good. Let me get you on screen. Give me 1 second. I'm going to adjust this. 1 second. So in terms of Sonic's view of, kind of like interpersonal relationships, mainly, stemming from friendships and also potential relationships, do you think that he has a healthy outlook in terms of, the way he should perceive these interactions with women? Do you think like having a bunch of women friends is like the way to go, or do you think you're just kind of spinning your wheels and you're becoming just friend zoned by everybody?
Well, Camp, that's actually kind of a catch-22. Because the thing you have to remember about friendships with women is how it works out. Because if you, as the man, put her in the friend zone and you don't let that boundary line cross, yeah, she'll be your friend. But if you have a group of women around you who you're just friends with, and you're low key kind of hoping for something, maybe not necessarily desperate, but oh, Machiavelli jumped in.
Yeah, I saw. Welcome to the stream, Machiavelli. How you doing, sir?
How you doing, guys? I hope you guys doing fine. Uh,
Yes, sir. Good to hear from you again, man. Good to have you back on the stream, sir.
yeah, yeah, I'm happy to be here, Camp. I've been late to this all stuff, so I heard the point that you said, being friends with women. That's his approach.
I think that it's a poor approach for a man. I think every man starts out doing that, thinking that that's like the noble way to be and stuff. But I think it ultimately does not suit you in terms of your goals. If you want to pursue anything further, I don't think it's a good long-term strategy. I think in the end, you're just going to be benefiting a lot of people that aren't going to really give you much in return.
I feel the same. I feel the same way. To be honest, my opinion on that, it's soyish, man. It's like a soy boy thing to do, and woman, I ain't gonna respect that. And he's not gonna get a woman in a relationship by doing that. Like friends with women, that's pathetic, in my opinion. It is what it
You're gonna
is.
have a bunch of women, because women talk to other women, so they're gonna be talking about you and maybe saying, oh yeah, he's a sweet guy, whatever. He's like, so like, are you guys ever like, no, like, oh, he's never tried anything? No. Is he gay? That's gonna be the next like normal question that people are gonna ask, and they're like, no, he's just he likes girls and stuff, but he's just like, he's not interested like that. I guess he's a little bit more sensitive and he can have those type of conversations.
Yeah, and they love him and everything, but they see him as a woman. It is what it is.
And that's the
You're not gonna
last
be
thing
like,
you want to have as a man, to be equal in terms of like that. They look at you as just like another one of the girls. It doesn't seem like something we should all strive for.
So that is his whole thing, like adapt and be friends with women. Is that what the thing is?
It's been the strategy that has worked for him, and like, who am I to tell him, hey, maybe you should be a little bit more direct? If you like a girl, say it. If you don't like a girl, say it.
It's defeatist.
Listen, in my own, I'm sorry, Ghost, but in my honest opinion, I think he's lying. It doesn't work like that. Come on, guys, are we gonna believe that? Nah. Me personally, I don't believe his strategy worked.
You think it's
I
cope?
mean, no way.
You think
I think it's cope.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's a lie. I mean, I'm not gonna say like it's a lie for to have respect for him, but in my honest opinion, if you ask me in a lie detector test, I'm gonna say that he's lying. And the other thing he said, I'm doing my thing, blah blah blah. He's just like you said, he's like just a woman, a feminist who say, I'm focusing on my thing.
I'm focusing on
not focusing on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a cope. You know why? Because if a good-looking man and that she likes, that's have money, whatever, she gonna abandon all her dream and go with him. It's just cope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I like when you said it's like a woman. That's literally like a woman. I agree on this. With all respect to him, of course.
I mean, it was literally just pattern recognition in terms of what he was saying. I'm like, dude, I've heard women say this, and it's just like, this is what keeps you single, okay? Because you have this ridiculous standard that oh no, like I'm a boss babe. Okay. I'm the table, I'm the prize and all this stuff like that. Like, well, okay, no man wants to deal with that because you are now a difficult woman to deal with, you know, like that's not, look,
Yeah.
we're going to do whatever we want to do to protect our peace. We're not going to go searching for it like that. You know, if that's what you're going to be presenting yourself as, it's just like if a man knows truly what he is all about, he knows that, okay, I'm going to avoid that because I don't want that type of stress in my life.
To be honest, he don't got it like that. I think he's like a shy in real life, maybe. So I don't think no woman gonna be attracted to him. Unfortunately for him.
Well,
So
he has the perspective
Yeah,
that
that's-
he has the perspective that women should approach men and propose to men for marriage. He thinks that is an eventuality that will soon happen within our generation. And I'm just like, I don't think so. I think that's just going to be a small little outskirt niche of people. And I think it's going to be weak men accepting the proposals of women because they're scared of being alone and they have no standards for themselves. I don't.
Generation.
Yeah.
What's that? What's after Generation Alpha?
Generation Beta.
is
No,
this
it's
guy
not
having
Beta,
a
it's
girlfriend?
something else. I don't remember what it is.
I don't think so. I don't think he has a girlfriend.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
And
all theory
I-
at
I'm
this
sure-
point.
I'm sure he have a lot of girls that's his friends that love him and everything, but they're not gonna see him as a man, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
it is what it is, man. I think he's coping. You can't listen. Your mind will play tricks on you if you don't control it. So that's what's his mind doing to him.
Yeah,
he's
you're willing
like,
you're willing to
a
accept something that is not a good deal for you.
Yeah, and he's like adept, like Bruce Lee, like you said.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's
okay,
means
Bruce Lee.
submission. That means submission. It's like when Myron say, "You gotta make a million, blah blah blah." You submitting, you fucking doofus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, we kind of. The thing is, Myron got exposed in terms of his relationship and how it was more of an arrangement, kind of a way to shield him from the criticism of being a little sus, and not really having an interest in women at all. But that's like his thing. He needs to have Angie there to kind of like give him that illusion that, yes, I have this relationship where it is closed on her end, open my end, she packs my condoms and all this other stuff like that, because that is the narrative that he needs the young men that follow him to believe. Otherwise, this whole house of cards is going to fall apart.
That's true.
So,
And what about the Goomba? What's he been doing these days, Camp?
dude, I couldn't tell you, man. I couldn't tell you. Like he was part of that whole Manosphere documentary, or whatever, but he never said anything. He was just another background character, and that's kind of just it's just a testament to who he is. He's just a background person, man. He to me, he's the most irrelevant person in the Manosphere, and he just happens to have his name first before his co-host on his podcast. He was very smart about that. And that's the only reason why he has any, I don't know, like anybody even noticing who he is. But yeah, man, I mean, Fresh is such an irrelevant person. There's really nothing that I can really say much more about him. It's like at this point, we're just keeping him relevant by even talking about him.
That's true. That's true.
So
You seen him when he saw Sneeko?
yeah. I mean, I think he's still trying
How
to start
pathetic
some mess with that.
How pathetic that was, and Gary, the clown guy, was like yelling and trying to portray
God.
Fresh. Come
Yeah.
on, guys.
No, that was
Come on, we all see it.
it's not a manly behavior. It's just two men bickering like two females, like getting all of each other's faces but not doing anything. It's like, why are we doing all this bucking up but we're not actually like doing anything? Like, this looks pretty weak, and sure, I mean, maybe Gary the numbers guy is like smart enough to realize that he has something to lose, like if he gets locked up for assaulting Sneeko in the public like that. But I think these guys are all talk, man. Like they know, they have content brains, so they're like, oh, I'm just gonna walk up on them and start some mess or whatever. I'm gonna get my piece off, get my little 20-second clip, whatever, and people will be talking about me again. It's like they have content brain. That's all it is, man.
That's
And
true. It's
if
all
that
about content. bro.
documentary guy actually wanted to make a documentary that would actually get somewhere, he should have interviewed Paul Elam and Ernie Pitsey.
I have no idea who those people are.
Paul Elam, he's actually one of the one of the most prolific voices in the men's rights movement in terms of like courts and stuff and prison sentences.
Mm-hmm.
And Ernie Pitsey is actually was one of the co-founders of the Refuge in the UK, their domestic violence shelter. She's one of their co-founders who actually went and did the hard psychological research on abuse and women who are victims of abuse. And she actually wrote a book about it, and she actually ended up receiving terroristic threats for that. But they're both people in the manosphere who are pushing for the right kind of changes. Not what Fresh Fit, Sneeko, Clavicular, or the Tates are trying to push for. They're actually trying to get things to change the right way.
Like what, in terms of like legislation,
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, I think if a woman accuses a man of like SA and stuff like that, I think she should suffer some type of penalty for that, for a false accusation. If it comes out later that no, she was just a scarred ex or something like that, and just she lost out on her opportunity to have a lifestyle and have her whole life paid for her because the guy found out that she was on OnlyFans or something like that, and he's just like, yeah, I don't want to deal with this, And now she's like trying to double back, trying to be like, well, he essayed me or whatever. And they're like, well, not really. And it comes out later that no, she was just trying to, just trying to get something from him,
And guys, to go back to the guy that was there, Sonic, his name.
Yeah.
You see, when you read him my message, he didn't like answer my the thing that I meant. He just say, it's work for you, it's work for you. It like a deflecting, snarky like behavior,
Yeah.
Like, he's not honest at all.
It just seems like it's easier to kind of like hand wave you away, like if it works for you, like you can say that to anything. And instead of actually like dealing with it and maybe forming like an actual opinion about that, or maybe maybe
that's what I mean.
Changing your perspective. No, absolutely. I think I don't really think we asked a lot of good questions. I think we went on a lot of tangents. I think if he let me know what this debate was going to be about, I could have properly set up some questions at least on my end to at least get to the bottom of why he feels this way, instead of me just kind of like listening to his anecdotal experience and then me just telling him like, well, just change your behavior and you'll change your circumstance. It's as simple as that. You don't have to have this this victim mindset of like, worrying about the billionaires that don't worry about you. It's like, just worry about yourself. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the sad thing is nobody gonna save him, not you, Camp, and not him. He's wired like that, and he don't got it. It is what it is, man. It's not for him. Some guys are just being sent. He's one of them, and either you wanna believe that or not. It's for him. His mind will play games on him. He will cope. It is what it is.
He needs a bigger brother, man. And he's just so young to already be thinking this way. It's just like, nah, man. It's like it really doesn't have to be all doom and gloom, man. Women aren't these like creatures that you have to be friends with first. It's like, no, if you like a girl, then you should probably be direct and let her and convey some interest. But if you don't like a girl, but the girl likes you, then you should probably put your foot down and be like, look, you're not like you're not my type at all. Like, I don't even want to be friends with you because it's just, I don't see any value in being friends with you. I don't even want you in my life.
And doesn't he know that he's just a jester if he's around with a lot of girls? And how like me being around a lot of girls gonna get me girls? That make no sense. That what they sense, the girls, they sense that I'm a soy boy, and I'm not masculine at all,
Yes.
and I'm a cutie pie, and that's all. How that works? He
Yeah.
lying. He got no girlfriend.
You're
I'm
the
sure I
guy
can bet
that's
my
like
house on
the
there.
you're the guy that is kind of like the emotional tampon. You know, you're there. They're kind of really to soak up all of the, you know, the drama and everything, and you're basically the person they confide in. They feel like they can trust you because
You know who he is?
it's like,
You know who he is, Camp?
what's that?
He's that guy that's walking with the girls, and he have a crush on all of them. And you walking in the street, gonna be a man and say, "Hi, we're ladies, what's up?" And you pick one and you talk to her.
Hmm.
He's that type of guy that's gonna stand there and hate you for doing that because he can't do it. Like he's that type of guy that's gonna be cocked and just stare at you and hating you for doing that because he don't have the balls enough to do that himself.
I mean,
That's his type of guy.
it's the power of being direct, man. Like if I saw him in a group of girls and I'm be like, "Is this your boyfriend?" and she's like, "No, he's my friend." Oh, okay, cool. So you wouldn't mind if like we ditched him and like we went somewhere real quick. Or whatever,
Cocked.
you know, it's just like it's just so simple like
Defeated.
that, you know. But that's like it's like, you know, when clavicular is like stealing some like girl that has like a prom date or like a mom that, you know, is with her daughter and stuff like that, and you know, like she clearly has a husband at home, whatever. But you know, it's like women kind of really like are going to gravitate to somebody that has confidence, you know, that's not really afraid of this whole rejection, so they try to play it safe by being friends, you know,
So he's afraid of rejection so much, huh?
to the point where he doesn't approach anymore. He would much rather a woman approach him, and I'm like, that's never going to happen. Okay, it's never.
No, it's gonna happen if you're Brad Pitt, but you're not Brad Pitt, unfortunately, my guy. What are we talking about here?
Actually, considering how women tend to act, you could be Brad Pitt in his prime. You could be Leonardo DiCaprio in your prime. You could be Arnold Schwarzenegger in your prime. You could be good looking, have all the musculature, but if you got shit for confidence,
Oh, let's try to
No,
keep
no.
let's try to
Listen,
keep the cursing to a minimum here. We're
even
on Twitch
that,
here. No, you're fine.
Ghost, even that, even let's say Brad Pitt is a soy boy who's like to have no confidence. Even him, he got girls, he got chances. What I mean is, this guy Sonic, he's not him. It's not gonna work ever, even one. That's what I mean. Brad Pitt, at least he got chances. I know the confidence played a lot of stuff, but looks too. So Sonic, unfortunately, he don't got looks to do that. So he got put the work. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's true.
I do. It is true what you're saying, but the thing that I'm trying to say here is that, you know, looking good, that reels them in. And Camp said this earlier, which is very true. Good looks, you know, it gets them talking to you. But do good looks just get you to the bedroom? You gotta have some measure of charisma. And if you have
Yeah,
no
just don't be
confidence,
an R
you're
word, you
not
know?
going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of have a mouthpiece, develop that first, you know. And the thing is, you could be the ugliest guy on the planet, but if you have confidence and you have no fear because you've been rejected, I tell him that. I was like, dude, if you take the opportunity to get rejected, you come back stronger. You realize that it's not the end of the world that you got rejected.
And by having no fear, Camp, I hate the word mouthpiece and something and stuff like that because it's like the guru style to me. By no fear, I mean just be yourself. Talk like you go buy a soda. You know, just be yourself. Be
Yes.
that guy.
Mhm.
Don't have that emotional stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if you're like that, yes, I agree. But the mouthpiece thing, and he tried to say this and that look cringy as hell.
I mean, I think that there are certain behaviors, nonverbal behaviors that men exude that women pick up on, and they can sense a lack of confidence or a lack of self-esteem, you know, and
That's
it's an immediate turnoff. You don't even have, it's even like in the stride, the way you walk over to them, you know, and they realize, oh, this guy, he has no confidence just in the way he walks, the way he holds his shoulders are down, and how he kind of like looks down to the ground when I look at him and stuff. It's just like, this guy is clearly afraid. and they can smell fear, just like dogs can smell fear, you know? So it's like they're not going to respect
and that
you.
and there is other guys that's to the extreme too. That's they have confidence, but they try to act cool for school, and that's the same to me. To be honest, the mouthpiece, the game, it's all a lie. Just be normal. Just be a human being. You
Yeah.
got instincts. Do it with your instincts and be normal, calm. That's all. This game stuff, the mouthpiece, it's cringy to me.
Well, when
To be
I
honest.
say mouthpiece, I'm saying like just speak and be direct and don't like try to choose your words so much, you know, in terms of like trying to
Yeah.
be perfect. You know, I think that's another
Yeah,
trap
that's
that
what
men
I'm.
do.
Yeah,
They try
that's
to
what
be
I mean.
perfect. They try to say all the right things, and they realize that I'm still kind of coming off as fake because I'm trying to still appeal to her. When if you just be yourself, like what you just said, then women will see who you are, and they can make that decision from that point. Oh, I do like this guy. This is the kind of guy that I like. A guy that's not afraid to be himself, you know, or not afraid to have an
Yep.
opinion about something and not worry about if my opinion is different or whatever like that. It's like, no, this person is true in their convictions, and that's actually really attractive, you know. Or if someone, if you meet a guy that's, you know, could possibly be like a yes man, you know, like everything you say I like too, you know, it's like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but that's just that I would think a woman would not want that for a long-term relationship, because it's like, do you have a backbone? You know, it's like,
Yep.
would you be able to put me in my place if I did something that you disagreed with, or will you just lie down and accept it because there's nothing that you could do about it? I think I think a woman really needs to respect you before she could even, you know, go down that path
Respect is
of
everything.
yeah, if they could think that, you know,
This
they could
this
possibly
love
have a
thing,
future with
this
you.
listen, this stuff, the love, the honeymoon phase, it's true, it's happened, the hormones, but it's go away. So
It's
what
fleeting.
left is
Yes,
respect.
exactly.
The respect is everything.
That's what keeps the relationship going, you know, being able to, you know, look at each other and have that respect, that mutual respect for one another, and value. You know, you value that person. You know, they're an asset to you in your life, in whatever way that you know, increases your life. You know, it could just be like, look, this person brings me peace. This person, you know, is someone that is just on my team. You know, she wants me to do well, so she's willing to do whatever she can to improve my life, even if it's by like 10%. You know, like I'm already giving 100%, but she gets me to that 110%, you know, because she's just there for me. She's my cheerleader in a way, you know. It's like, yeah, guys like that, you know, but to have a woman that is going to be constantly like fight you and constantly like be combative and stuff like that, yeah, dude, like long term that never works out. And you know, it's always on
You
the
know-
outside looking in. You see that and you're like, dude, you got to get out, bro.
Sonic is the type of guy that if he had a girl and she treating him like horrible and she beating him, he'd understand the relationship. I think he's that type of guy.
Well, he did dodge that bullet with that one girl. They kicked him out of the friend group because he saw the guy that was in a relationship with a girl that was similar to that, and he saw how he got worn down to like a little nub, and you know, he was in this like hopeless position where he couldn't find his way out of it, and so Sonic changed the way so that he didn't go down that same path. He was able actually to learn from that other man and how, you know, how his life ended up. He's like, I don't want that for my life. But when I hear Sonic say these certain things about how he approaches women, you know, in terms of how he holds them as like close friends, and you know, it's like he's all in their world and stuff like that. It's like I'm pretty much the same way. I'm like, I would totally avoid that. Because that's not the kind of life I would want to live. You know,
This is total submission, like literally total submission to women. What the hell is going on with him? He's a weasel. With all due respect, I don't know him, but if you're thinking like that, he's not gonna survive in this reality, unfortunately.
It's partial submission, Machiavelli. Because you have to remember, to fully submit to a woman, you know, you kind of have to just drop your shoulders, bow your head, and say, yes, mistress, yes, my lady. And at a certain point, men will start hating themselves if they act that way.
Because they're not getting any
So-
fulfillment whatsoever. They're like, this is just me doing all the work and I'm not getting anything out of it. After a while,
Yeah.
that's got to
And
be
it's not-
frustrating.
So
It's not about only women, you know. This Sonic guy, I mean, in real life, in business, wherever he gonna be like a little fish. They're gonna eat him with that mentality. You know,
No,
what is the
absolutely.
backbone?
It definitely transcends to
If you're
business as
talking
well.
like
A person that
business,
acquiesces to,
they
yeah,
break
absolutely.
pieces.
No, that's absolutely correct.
like-
because if you bend and fold at everything and you're just like this doormat in a relationship and also in the workplace, people are just looking at you as someone that they can take advantage of. You know, that's just literally
yeah,
what
low-hanging
you're
fruit, like the Goomba.
yeah, you're basically this is your lot in life, you know? And unless you change your behavior, change your mindset, and realize that what you've been doing for so long is not working, because you're not happy, then you got to do something about that. Otherwise, you're just going to continue to spin your wheels, continue to just live this day by day, and it's just never going to improve, and you're just going to be lost. It's like, no, sometimes you're going to meet somebody that's going to be able to size up your entire situation and be like, well, the whole reason why you've been doing this is because you have this victim mindset. You think that you can't improve your circumstance, that you are just pigeonholed to this. This is your existence now. There's nothing you can do to change it, when that's not true at all. You could change it today. You could change it right now.
And how he got the will to the adaptation stuff, adapt. I don't have the will to do something new that's gonna help him.
Yeah, it's like you're just adapting to another bad strategy, You're taking baby steps instead of like huge steps to change your life. And maybe possibly settling back into old habits.
Well, there's adapting to what's necessary, and there's adapting to what society tells you need to adapt to. Because if you're adapting to what society tells you, that kind of fits what Sonic was talking about. But if you adapt to reality around you, you don't just be like, believe the news reports, and you actually go do some independent research, and it's like, none of this makes sense. This is wrong. This is wrong. That is wrong. And, if you're talking in terms of pure biology, this is never going to attract me a woman who I would even consider having children with. Adapting in terms of what the media says you should do, yeah, that's kind of where Sonic's going. But if you want to adapt to reality, ain't gonna work, ain't gonna fly.
Well, bowing out is not an option, because then you're basically choosing to not act. You're choosing a non-action, and I don't think that, in my opinion, that is not an option. If life is bad and I take no action to change it, that is not gonna help me. I know that already. So it's like, how about if it even takes writing it down, like, this is what I don't like about my life, you will be able to figure out baby steps, if not grand steps, to change it incrementally over time. Like, I don't like where I live, then move. If you can't move because you're not making enough money, well, then get another job, get a second job, you don't have a relationship, you don't have kids, you're all on your own. Okay, so that means that you have unlimited time to work as hard as you can and completely just block everything out, because you have nothing holding you back.
Yeah, I mean, if you're,
he's saying,
where you're clearing at least $60,000 a year, or maybe some sort of small business where you're not clearing 60, you do need to get another job at bare minimum, just to, keep the overhead up. And then in the meantime, you're doing like college or something just to, kind of get ahead. Or if you're smarter, you're going into the trades, depending upon who you are. Everyone's life path, if you want to be technical, is different. But
everybody's life path is different, but success leaves clues. Okay, so you can either definitely see what works, and maybe just make a choice. Sometimes it just comes down to that, making a choice. A lot of these guys, they just want to find the perfect thing that suits their personality, and so, no, maybe sometimes you need to do some things that you don't like doing, Maybe it's just a job,
And
you
you
know? You got to grind it out.
You know what, Camp? Hey, Camp, he said something and he don't realize he's the something that he's talking about. He said something about you can't put a shape into a different shape, right?
I guess he did say something close to that. Yeah.
Yeah, he did something close to that. He
Mhm.
mean that. That's him. He don't want to live like this. He don't want to be in the friend zone. He don't want to this. He don't want to that. But he trying to be the shape that he's talking about. He try to fit in, and he's not the shape. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. No, I mean, it just seems like you're trying to find a different way, I guess, to handle your situation instead of just, you know, trying to, trying to change yourself and stuff. You know, you're taking the path of least resistance. You know, you're like, well, no, look, this isn't really ruined my life completely. Being friends with all these women and stuff like that. Like, you got to realize that you're kind of dividing your focus up and you're kind of like losing focus on yourself because you're like trying to appease all these women that have no interest in you like that. You know, it's like, why be surrounded with all these women friends when really, yeah, a woman will look at you for boyfriend energy, even if you're not their boyfriend, for protection. You know, for someone who will carry their bags for them when they go shopping. Like, you have that utility to them. And that's kind of what a man is. A man is protection, providing, and boyfriend energy, you know? Whereas, like, a woman will just kind of just leech off of you if you let her.
Yeah. And again, Camp, he was saying you can't put a shape through another shape. But he doing the same thing that he's saying.
Yeah.
He tried to fit in a shape that's not his. He don't want to live like that, and he still choose to do that. He was literally talking about himself, literally.
Yeah, I guess that's the irony of the whole situation. You know, it's like you hate what you are, but you can't escape what you are because you have no other. You don't know any other way to be. Because nobody has told you that there was any other way to be, you know? And people have tried. I know I've tried, but he just like, he rejects it because he's like, this has kind of been working. It's not like I'm not dead, you know? Like, it hasn't killed me completely, so it can't be all bad. But like, oh, it can still be bad, you know, relatively speaking. I just think that, you know, you need to kind of figure out what brings you fulfillment. You know, not necessarily happiness, because happiness is fleeting, you know, just like kind of like, oh, maybe I need to make $1 million in order to be happy. No, you're still going to have all different types of problems, even if you get that money. You're going to have a whole new world of problems that you didn't know that you would have having $1 million, you know?
And
Yep,
that's the same mindset that a lot of women have. The grass will be greener on the other side. Is
Yeah.
it really? No.
No, it's just a perspective, you know?
Yeah, Ghost Camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why Camp deserves Sonic book coming soon?
I mean, it just seems like there's a lot of life experience that he still needs to go through, but him shutting off now at this young age and just kind of closing himself off to like any type of future experience and stuff is just going to kind of stunt his growth in terms of development. And it's like, we don't want anybody in the hustlers community to be like this angry at woman, like involuntary, you know, like celibate individual that's just like doom and gloom, you know, and then you focus all your attention on what you don't have instead of like appreciating the stuff that you do have, like another day of life. You know, it's like, start with that first. Be happy that you're above ground and you're not out on the street, you know, struggling. You know, you have electricity, you have AC, you have a computer, you have an ability to talk to people online and influence other people and get recognition and stuff like that, and get that little dopamine hit, you know, for when people that want to reach out to you and stuff, to maybe even want to follow you and stuff for, you know, your views and everything. Or, but then again, you know, the other half of it is that, yeah, you're going to get a lot of hate. But you got to be able to be stronger than that. You know, if you're going to be on this whole internet thing, you got to be able to have a thick skin. You know? And
I mean, it's not just having a thick skin, Camp. You've also got to be able to hit back. If
absolutely.
You can't hit fuck, you're gonna get nowhere. I mean, Fresh and Fit are a perfect example of that. When they came out and said, "Dude, you're gay," or "You're acting very gay," oh, you've never been in this, you've never been in that, and it's like, go ask any guy who's been in a sports team, who's been in the military, and it's like, dude, one, if you're saying that, oh, this is funny, trust me, I've seen guys do it, and the humor is there. I don't see humor in what you're doing. I see like, yes, contentment. I am in my happy place.
Mm,
You're not trying to be funny, ha. It's more like I'm happy. I'm cozy.
right.
Oh, he submit to white man. We all seen that.
Oh, I mean, in more cases than ever. It's like he seeks the approval, and it's
I
like
mean,
he
Myron using the N word, in my opinion, is worse than some Southern homeboy saying it, because at least the Southern homeboy, he means it in the context of how he views you. Myron's saying it just to try and get somebody's goat. It's weak.
Myron is awkward. Don't you guys realize sometimes when he try to be a edgelord and say this stuff, and he looking for like the attention from the horse to laugh? That cringe as hell, man. Like you're gay,
controversial
man.
for controversial
You're
sake, man. That's what it is,
If
man.
he's
yeah,
gonna marry Sue
yeah.
X,
He's
or
like the scammer, Marquetta, Mark Weef.
Oh my goodness.
What a joke.
Oh
He
my gosh.
they are the same, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I think his recent he had 2 3-hour live streams criticizing Fresh and Fit. Basically saying that their 7-year friendship is over, and he was basically going in on like how these guys are phonies or scammers, and Myron is just a weak man and all this stuff. And then they ended up getting canceled. I mean, not canceled, but the 2 videos ended up getting flagged by Fresh and Fit, and it got taken down.
He's a clown. Do you see how he uses his hand? He ain't not fooling anybody. Maybe he's, dumb subscribers, but he acting like a sassy, fruit.
Oh
Like
yeah.
he literally the sassiest guy ever. Like try to use hand gesture. Like, come on, man. We're not in 2021, man.
Dude, the Sassin
You know what
is
I'm
so
saying?
close to sassy to me. Like, like in terms of just pattern recognition wording and stuff like that. It's like I don't like it that he says the Sassin. It's just like it just sounds sassy to me. So
Do you remember? Yeah. Do you remember when he's with Destiny, and Destiny asked him, "What is an NFT?"
Oh my
And he said,
god, one of the
"I
most
created
epic
the NFT
videos
from
ever.
the command line." From the command line.
Yes, man. No, that was one of the best things. And he was stalling for time because he couldn't tell Destiny what an NFT was, and he was like, wait a minute. Destiny's like, wait a minute. Are you Googling it right now? Or are you having somebody Google it for you?
Yeah.
Whatever. It's like, and insane. He just kept saying it like, dude, that question is so beneath me. That's like asking Michael Jordan, what is a double dribble? Well, I bet if you asked Michael Jordan what is a double dribble, he would be able to rattle that off to you right away with no issue. No blow to his ego.
You see,
like,
yeah. And you know how I know he's broke? He's a brokey.
How's that?
When Destiny said, if you want to compare bank accounts, you can do that too. He was literally triggered. You can see it in his eyes, in his body movements when he did that. He said, "Yeah, we can do that."
Mm-hmm.
He's broke. He scammed his fans for $2,000. Imagine $2,000.
Oh, the rug pull for the
Scam
Sassin coin? Yeah. I remember that.
and he tried to say, "My friend is in the hospital. Go buy this, and we got a check for him when he got out." Like this, he was crazy and weird and like lying. He was lying through his teeth.
The thing is, that the fact that you can recall all of this stuff, these are all just plot points that it all links to a bigger picture, a big, scam type picture that, like, yeah, if you aren't paying attention and you're seeing like 1 or 2 of these details, you'd be like, oh, that's really nice that he's trying to raise money for his friend that's in the hospital, so he's trying to sell these like necklaces or bracelets or whatever like that, and then it turns out that person never existed, and it was just another way to scam his audience. And it's like, yeah, he is kind of like, in a way, like a cult leader, and it's, I mean,
no, he wishes He's not even a cult leader. He wishes to be. He's not even there. He's a clown.
Yeah.
He got like maybe like 100% who worship him because they dump. Okay, but he's not a cult leader.
Mhm.
I guarantee you, hey Camp, I guarantee you, if he saw a video about him and say, Marquette Devon Burton is the best cult leader and this, he'll be happy to watch the video. He'll be happy as fuck.
I mean, he's a narcissistic person. I think he would be
Yeah.
seeking out anything that has his name in it.
No,
So, yeah.
even this, I don't wanna even give him the title of like the what is this leader, a cult leader, because I know he's gonna feed his ego. He's gonna say, yeah, I'm cool, I'm a cult leader.
Right.
Fuck out of here. He's not even a cult leader. A cult leader is not like that. Trust me.
Oh,
He's a goofy, like sassy, like goofy. You remember when he was talking shit up behind Kevin Samuels?
oh, watch
when he-
watch
when-
out, watch
when
out
he met him?
the curses, man. We're still on Twitch
Yeah.
here, but no, I do remember
Yeah, my bad.
the issue that he took with Kevin Samuels, which I think that was just projection. You know, I mean, I think real recognizes fake, or fake recognizes fake. That in that case,
No, Kevin Samuels was fake too. He was copying Tommy Sotomayor. So-
I do know about
they
that.
both-
Yeah, I mean, basically, it was
Yeah,
all
they
he
both-
was an image consultant. He was all about image. You know, it was all about
Yeah, and
portraying
he
an
was, he was
image.
talking behind him. He was talking behind his back, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Guess what? When he find him in the Bellagio or wherever they call it, he smiled from ear to
Oh,
ear.
He was
ear
just happy
and
to
took a picture
share
with
a
him like
photo
a
with
fan.
him.
He was happy.
Absolutely.
He was happy as hell.
You notice how these guys don't really
Yikes.
they don't really stay true to whatever they say, you know, when they're apart from each other. When they come on camera with each other, they completely turn tail and, you know, or tuck tail and change their entire behavior. You know, it's just like Myron's the same way. He's the same way when he's around men that are challenging his position. He'll completely like fold, you know, and just let them have the space to say whatever they want to say. And
Yeah, I
You know?
remember that.
but if it's a
You see-
woman,
you see
if it's a
Myron-
woman,
Yeah.
oh dude, he's just like cutting their mic, kicking them out, you know?
That's when you know he's sassy as hell. Like with the women, he got the ego, but with the male, he gonna submit. He's not gonna
Every
get.
time, dude. Every time.
And guess what, Camp? Remember when the clown guy was like blabbling with the mic, then Myron got triggered? He didn't say, "Oh, get out of here, blah." He said, "I would like for you to leave."
Oh yeah, he was very respectful.
Very respectful.
Very, very. I mean, that's the thing. He gives that type of grace to men because I think it's like he really can't fight like that. I think he has to be able to reach for the strap, you know, and just be able to defend himself that way. Because I really don't think he can fight. I don't think he's like. I don't think he has it in him.
Did you see his boxing? Did you see his shadow boxing? That was like, I don't know how he think. I don't know how he looked at that and said, "Yes, I'm gonna push it. I look cool."
He thought he
I don't know how
looked pretty
he
cool
thought
in that
that.
one. Actually, I think he thought that was
Yeah,
pretty. He was like, "Dang, I should put some music
that was
behind
funny,
that."
man.
Yeah, no, he thought he was
That
doing
was
something.
funny.
He thought he was doing something with that one. He's like, "Man, I'm gonna get so much like positive reviews
And
for
guess
this."
what, Cam? Guess what? When they say he saw how the fans reacted to this, he said, "Well, I did that to troll you guys to see how you react."
Of course,
yeah,
of
right.
course.
Of
Revisionist
course.
history, man. This guy's always revising history and always like, you know, it's how like whenever he's trying to expose something, he's like, "Don't worry, I got the receipts," and the receipts never pan out in his
Yeah.
favor.
It's always the goofy receipts, like
Oh my God,
something
dude.
goofy.
Like the Daisy stuff, like he was able to like get this whole transcript of like her getting fired from his job, and it ended up being like some crumpled up piece of paper that he found online. I'm like, what are you doing searching up crumpled up pieces of paper that you find
Yeah.
online? It's like, what is this?
And he was talking, and he always a man accountability. How about you put Fresh on the hot seats and he take accountability
Dude.
and not doing this sassy stuff with Daisy? How about that?
He'll never
That's
do that.
never going to
He'll
happen.
never do that, dude. He'll never hold him accountable online because he's like, dude, if we do that, then we're gonna look weak as a unit. You know, so he has to protect the brand like that. And if he's going to hold Fresh accountable, he's going to do it offline. And he's going to, and then, you know, he might let it slip that, yeah, look, I spoke to him offline about this, whatever, you know, but he's like, no, we need to be united front and all this stuff. And this infighting, it just makes us all look weak and da 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 da. I mean, dude, I've heard it so many times, man.
Yeah, the scripts. You know, the scripts he always read.
Of course. That's how my I mean, Myron is a lot like Fresh in terms of like repeating a lot of things, because when it comes to any type of excuse or any type of even like mindset that Myron has, he always kind of falls back into these same patterns. Like your anecdotal experience is not the general populace or whatever. Like, so if anything that I say bucks, or anything that you do or experience in your life bucks the trend to what I am talking about, then that is just your anecdotal experience, and you can't put that up against the general populace, whatever. Like, that's just, but then like when it comes to like a man telling his story, whatever, or saying like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like an example. Like, he'll just completely like let it go. He won't like fight against men, because he's just like, I'm just gonna let this guy talk for the most part, And even if it makes him look bad, because you got like a white guy saying the N-word, and you got these two guys that are just chuckling and laughing like a bunch of like little kids and stuff. It's like, and basically they do it in front of a bunch of women, because they're just like, it's funny. It's just, I don't know. They look pretty cowardly.
Remember when
doing
Andrew Wilson come on the show, and they were like saying it, and they tried to impress him laughing like kids, literally, like you said, like literally kids laughing at this. And Andrew Wilson, like he tried to laugh, but he was like, I don't know if I laugh like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they clowns for doing that. I ain't gonna lie, that was weak.
Yeah, and I just think that the guys that follow them still, that are still on this whole Fresh and Fit train, it's like, you don't have any better options out there, I guess, in terms of like people that are really giving it to you straight, or maybe you just drank too much of the Kool-Aid that you don't believe anything that anybody else has to say like against them. They're just like, oh, you're just hating because you're not as successful as they are. And you're like, but really, what success do we really think that they have? It's like, these guys are scammers, man.
Literally scammers. And the fans that they have, they sadistic, Camp. Unfortunately, they love that. They love when Myron like try to bully them and say, "Brookie, this day you a loser."
Mm-hmm.
And Myron do the same thing Sonic do. By the way, he submit to the thing that's women saying the whole. My bad. The 304s in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta do this and make this and make this. Get out of here. There is families that live normal, not like you goofs. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, a woman.
So nobody gonna submit to your standards.
Angie left him not for another millionaire, not for a guy that has clout, but for a guy that actually like wanted to have a relationship and have a family and all that stuff. And she's so much happier. It doesn't have to be like this guy giving her a lifestyle. He's giving her like
a future. Let's not forget it's all a circus.
Oh,
and she was never with Myron,
No, yeah, of course.
It's a facade, of course, like you said.
Yeah.
Look at me, guys. I got a Latina here, and I do this and that. She packed my condoms.
Yeah.
What a goofball.
I mean, there's guys that believe it. There's guys that like, dude, I want to be just like Myron. I want to be just like that. It's like, it's so stupid, man.
Camp, let's be honest. Let's say that's true. She packed his stuff, right? Why would you say that, you dummy?
No.
Why would you say that?
No, it brings her down. It brings her value down.
Yeah, it's like no.
It ridicules her.
That mean you try to prove something. You goof. That mean like you lying through your teeth.
No, true. But I mean, that was exposed on the documentary too. She basically said everything she needed to say about Myron by saying he's a completely different person when he's not on the cameras. And then he's just like, whoa, don't say that. I have this whole claim on my podcast that I'm exactly the same offline that I am online. So you just kind of like defeated that. And then when the documentarian like says like, do you think that you guys are gonna eventually cross paths because you guys don't have like similar mindsets in terms of like she's obviously not comfortable with you having other women, that's not something that she really wants or can really see a future in. And then Myron has to like get her out of the picture because he's just like, okay, you've already said too much. And then he's just like gonna speak for her and be like, no, she's fine with it, she's cool with it, she would want me to be happy.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I saw a clip. I don't know. I don't remember well, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
is that goofy ass tell Angie to clean the room to look like an alpha on the TV?
Yeah.
Is that happen?
It was basically to save face and kind of exert dominance and like, yeah, I am in control of this relationship. So I do tell
that's
her what,
crazy,
dude,
man.
it was so performative. It was horrible.
Oh
man.
my god, that was so horrible.
Welcome to the stream, AJ's rants and reactions. Good to see you, man. Well, he says, what up, chat? Good to see you, man. Yeah, man. This was actually a pretty funny expose. You know, I mean, I think in terms of what Sonic was like saying and believing and stuff like that, I was like thinking that if he were just to change that one aspect of just being honest with himself and being direct with the women around him and saying like, look, I don't really want to be this guy that's going to like take on all of your problems and just kind of be like one of the girls and stuff like that, like, or be one of your wingmen and try to like help you get other guys and stuff. Like, I don't want that for my life. You know, and like, I want to be able to get girls myself and stuff like that. I think like, it's already an L, you know. It's like you just got to get out of that situation, you know. You gotta I don't know, man, you just maybe need to just hang around a bunch of guys and just, you know, maybe discover something else about yourself that maybe, you know, once you get around a bunch of guys that, you know, aren't really too like concerned with like the ideals or like what's the word, impressing, you know, other women, you know, like look we're basically guys that work hard. We don't take mess from anybody, you know? Like, I think that would be good. I think that would be good for him, like a good influence for him to like see men that do not care, and women are still attracted to that because they do not care if they can walk away. They can basically walk away and don't feel like they're losing anything. Because did you hear when Sonic was saying like, well, I don't really want to like, you know, break up the friend group and stuff like that. I kind of want to like, I don't want to be direct because I don't want to like hurt somebody's feelings and all of those. I'm like, dude, why do you care? If you don't like this person, say it. Because obviously you're just going to put yourself in, you're just basically kicking the can down the road until it's going to finally come to a head, you know? And there's going to be a lot of confusion.
It's the spine parts, Camp. Is the spine parts.
Yes.
Like you said, no spine, unfortunately.
Yeah. You got to grow a spine eventually because you're going to realize that, dude, this is not the kind of life I want. If I continue like this, it's just going to get worse. You know, it's going to seep into my work life, and I'm going to end up working in a job for like 20 or 30 years that I hate. And I'm just never going to be fulfilled because I just let people walk all over me. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to, you can make the decision right now that you don't want that for your life.
Or maybe, just maybe, he's sadistic. He likes to be like degraded or something like that. Because there is a lot of guys that have that fetish.
Yes.
So maybe he's that type. Who knows?
Could be. Mr. AJ, I'm going to go ahead and change the limit of people here to 4, so you can jump in anytime you like, sir. No, but I agree. I definitely agree. I think if he were to just kind of change his change that one little aspect, just be a little bit more direct, be a little bit more honest with himself, I think he'll find more fulfillment in that than you know, his life will improve. Just not overnight, but just in a small little aspect. You know, he realized, wow, you know, I can actually gain some respect from people by being honest. You know, people actually appreciate honesty. AJ the Third, what's up, sir?
And what's up, my friend? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I just skipped through the debate. I was kind of like watching it fast forward. I say I'm not a debater. Like, I just can't, because you have more patience than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people say stuff and I just know it's cap. And
right.
I just cuss people out. That's like bro, like I hey, call it crashing out or whatever, you know. But like I can't handle people being disingenuous. That dude knew he was saying some foolishness. He knew it, right? Like
I don't know, man. I think he truly believed in what he was saying. I think he's just deluded himself so much to the point where he actually believes his own bull stuff.
Well, you can't. I grew up in woke Seattle, Washington, and I used to be like the most blue pill dude. I would act like red pill in a way, and if I could like just try and say like I have subs who are married, who are in relationships. Red pill and marriage and relationships make out they're not mutually exclusive. It's like, did you take the red pill and make the best informed decision for yourself? So like you're married, but you are red pilled and saying, look, this is the way to move forward, and you have your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? So I support you 1,000%. You know
Bro,
what I'm saying? Like,
I wouldn't have this opinion if it didn't work for me.
Thank you.
And I'm not trying to like change it. I'm not trying to be like, dude, if you just change yourself and be more like me, you'll be happy. No, I think everybody's life path is different. But when I see patterns of like destruction or spinning your wheels or a life path that is not going to improve your life, but just kind of keep you stuck, then I feel like almost obligated that I need to say something.
Yeah, I've known guys like him my entire life. So he doesn't have any game. He fears projection. So he does the whole like male feminist kind of blue pill thing to be in the orbit of women, right? What happens? Okay, those guys are actually worse than incels because you can't trust them. Are away from women, but these guys are in the orbit of the women, so they see the women that they want sleeping with guys like you and me and all the guys on this panel, and they get frustrated and get angry and angry and angry. Those are the guys who lash out more than they say these incels do, right? But it's a grift. These male feminists and people who want guys who want to debate red pill guys or MGTOW guys, okay. I have had girls go out on dates with guys like that Sonic guy, and then get an extra appetizer and a doggy bag, and then he pays for the dinner. She gives him a kiss on the cheek, and then she comes to my house with the food. I eat the food and plow the broad. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he doesn't he doesn't understand how much he's being played. I think he gets it, but like, what I'm saying is that method he's trying to do, it's never going to work. It's never going to get him the outcomes he wants.
Exactly. And guess what he gonna say? He gonna say, well, not all people are as strong as you. Like, bro, we're not saying that's carry a mountain in your back. It's not like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Self-respect. So
have standards.
There was a guy that I was talking to recently about like why you shouldn't have female friends. You can have female acquaintances or coworkers who you say hi, but there's no practical benefit of having a female friend because like if Camp and I and who the Ghost Rider guy, what is your name?
Teen Toes Ghost.
Yeah, so like let's just say all three of us are friends. If I need help fixing my radiator, I can ask you guys to come over on my car. I'll buy you guys beers. We'll have a pizza, whatever. If Camp needs help moving some furniture in his house, we'll come over and do it, right? There's no real benefit to having a female friend to where she can't really help you out anyway, but they will call you to help them out. They want the boyfriend, husband experience without reciprocating that with the girlfriend thing for you.
Exactly.
There is people like him. They are satisfied just to talking to women. Believe me or not.
Yeah.
Thank you. There was a Camp. Do you know who Obsidian is? He's a black man, like old school black man.
I've heard of him. I don't think he's on YouTube anymore, but I've heard of him.
Yeah. So he had a stream, and this one black dude, because I am black, but I don't do the whole black manosphere thing because they're just toxic, you know?
Right.
I think all of us men, Asians, blacks, Hispanics, you know, Europeans, Mexicans, rich, poor, we can all get cooked by the gynocracy, right? My point is, this one guy called in who was telling Obsidian how he thinks that the red pill is stupid, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, he said that there was a woman down the street that he was friends with who had a boyfriend in the house who called him and was like, hey, can you buy me a new bedroom set and help and then come over and mount a TV on my wall. He was like, why would I
Jeez.
do that?
Right.
I'm not your boyfriend or your husband,
Mm-hmm.
but this is the treatment that your female friends expect. And when you talk to guys like that Sonic guy,
Mm-hmm.
they think that if they do just enough, that this chick's gonna have that pity sex with him.
It's never gonna happen, man. It literally is the path of least resistance. You're not really
Yes.
doing anything, that is going to benefit you. You're only gonna benefit her by the boyfriend energy, by the protection, by just being the emotional tampon and being the guy
Yes.
that she can trust and confide in, that she could fall asleep in your bed and she can just trust that you're not going to do anything.
Yep.
And, it's like, I don't know, man. I think that if you just kind of just really just kind of hold women at a certain distance, kind of like as coworkers or acquaintances and stuff like that, and then like they realize that, oh, this is the kind of guy that actually has a lot of stuff going for himself, and he's not gonna be one of those guys that are gonna put me on a pedestal and make his life all about serving me, because women look at themselves like, dude, who am I? Like I'm definitely trying to land a dude that I can respect, and love and find a future with. But you find a guy that is willing to give you the world without you giving anything in return. Oh yeah, you're gonna take advantage of that. You're gonna take advantage of that until the wheels come off. So that's why I'm just like, dude, don't put yourself in that position.
There's no respect.
guys,
Women are not attracted.
Let's pray that
guys.
let's pray that Sonic is not gonna be the next Elias Roger. So that's
that's true.
Oh my God.
That's the thing.
Well, guys, you talked about
I'm
Myron,
serious.
right?
Let's pray.
And Camp made a good point, and I think the first stream that I jumped on of yours was I don't agree with Fresh and Funky when it comes to the whole you gotta date 50, you gotta bang 50 girls, and I'm not cool with promiscuity from the man's side or the woman's side because of the disease. And look, I've done my thing. Yeah,
right.
I'm 45. You know what you know what it is. But like, I don't recommend young guys are out there banging and clanging. There's,
it's even more dangerous now than it was when we were in our 20s, man.
Get the high five. HI5. I don't want to say.
No, I got you. Yeah.
The herp derp. The super gonorrhea is out there.
The gift that keeps on giving. Yep.
Thank you. HP5 gives you cancer. So there's really, really no point. But I had said this. If you needed money to get chicks, and all these single moms wouldn't have got pregnant by Nug who's sleeping on their couch.
Mm-hmm.
You said Myron got left for Nug for some dude who ain't got any money. So what is this thing with that part? Like Fresh and Funky, they always talk like you gotta have money to get chicks. Camp, you've never needed a lot of money to get chicks in your 20s. No. I never needed my money. Everyone on this panel. So this twisted thing of like, I'm gonna get money and I'm just gonna get all these chicks. It's like, now you're just a dork with money.
But now the newest grift right now, which is being spearheaded by Clavicular, is you need to look smacks. You need to look pretty. You need to, take drugs or whatever to shape your face and do these microfractures or whatever by hitting your bones and stuff like that. It's just like, we're not supposed to be the pretty ones, okay? The women are supposed to be the pretty ones. We're supposed to be the workhorses, okay? We're supposed to be the dependable, capable, protector types. We're not supposed to be these feminine looking, men we're trying to basically look better than the women and stuff like that. That's not
Clavicular did what Sonic said. He just submitted to women.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Well.
Anyways, guys, sorry I had to go. Next Thursday.
I appreciate you coming to the stream, Machiavelli. You have a good night, sir.
Yeah, there's
good night, Machiavelli.
So there was so I'm not Muslim, but it was Ramadan, so all the Muslim restaurants near me have the buffets for when it's dark and they go eat. So I went with my girl to go and eat, because it's good food. And some of these dudes are troglodytes, but they have hot wives. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, there was one guy there, his wife, she had the hijab on, but she was hot. Yeah, she had a beautiful face.
Uh-huh.
Homeboy looked like the missing link. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. I'm dead ass.
Hey,
But hey, he
man.
was, yeah. And then my best friend that I've known for like 6 years, he just has that charisma. He has that mouth. And he's always been able to get chicks. He's the one that actually made it click to like, you don't need to be some 6 foot. Now, I'm 6'4", but you don't need to be some like Adonis to get chicks.
No, these short
You just
kings
gotta
out here can be winning
confident.
too, man. They
Yeah, guys,
they
get
make
a
up for it in
skill.
confidence, man.
Get a skill. I knew a guy. He had like a kind of tarred arm. You know what I'm saying? Like a
Yeah,
arm.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he could play pool. He was a pool shark. So he would run the table and he would get chicks.
Yeah.
He would take chicks home from the bar.
He
And
was
then,
the old unassuming opponent that you thought you could like easily steamroll, and then he's just like he just wipes the whole table.
Yeah, if you're really good at something, the guitar, singing, karaoke, you can get chicks. Camp, I think that you're about my age. Do you remember in the 2000s when Abercrombie and Aeropostale were like new and big?
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that?
yeah, of course.
I knew a guy, and he had that kind of disease where like his neck and his chest were all one. You know what I'm saying? He was-
Oh man, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But guys, he was the manager at Abercrombie at the mall.
Oh man,
Bro, tell me why he wasn't pulling chicks.
Man, I mean,
he would always have hot chicks. It was crazy.
I mean, with Abercrombie though, you had like hot chicks working there, you had hot
Working
chicks
there, yeah.
shopping there, so it's like
Yep.
you were in that environment. So it's just like it's kind of bound. You kind of put yourself in that environment to always be in kind of the center stage, you know.
yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
sometimes you got to go where the hot chicks are, you know.
Well, Camp, I can tell you though that the age of the pickup artists and the grifters, that's over with. Now the red pill space is like guys like you and me. We kind of laugh at this stuff. We think it's hilarious.
It's only
We're more
entertainment, man.
lighthearted.
Entertainment purposes
Yeah,
only,
thank you.
man.
Yes, and I think that's why people gravitate towards platforms like yours, mine, or whatever. It's because guys are over the whole they're all bees and whores.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well,
Guys just want to just have fun, exchange ideas, and Fresh and Fit can only last for so much longer. This clavicular guy, he's just the newest version of a pickup artist, but he's on TikTok and all this other stuff with young kids, but he's not really that big on YouTube and all the other spaces.
yeah.
A lot of guys that are like 28, 35, 45 and up, they're not having it anymore.
Well, he got
They
arrested
wanna ask-
again. He got arrested
yeah.
again too. So I'm just like, dude, you don't want to be the prettiest guy in the pen.
You
Queen
better
for a
not
day,
drop
man.
soap.
Yeah, you're like, dude, you're prison maxing now. I mean, I don't know. Like, in my opinion, dude, like that should be the last thing that you are trying to max out is your looks. It's like, no,
Yeah,
max
that's
out your
crazy.
skill. You know, max out your
Yeah,
effectiveness, your usefulness, your resourcefulness. You know.
Yeah.
Get some charisma, get some life experience, get some stories to tell, but don't just try to like look pretty. That's not our thing.
All the stuff you talked about, Camp, gives you more confidence. When you have skills, when you have experience, it gives you confidence. And that's the one thing that really, really makes you stand out. If you've seen a lot of stuff, done a lot of stuff, right? So there was a 28-year-old guy who was in my chat the other day, and he asked like, "What's your advice for a 28-year-old?" And he's just been working, and I'm like, "Bro, go to trade school, right? Get your CDL, make some money."
Yeah.
It's like, but you don't.
You got the energy at that age to get multiple jobs and just max out on that,
Yeah, but I'm like, you don't want to be a 28-year-old college freshman, bro. I said, but you want to get a job where you can make money, and you can, travel, see things, or whatever. But there's so many things out there for young guys to actually, but you have to grab life by the horns. You have to do it because it's not going to come and find you. And I think that's the problem with like, sorry to say it, but entrepreneurs and cars and roller monster, all these. I gotta drive my supercar, man, and I gotta go to Dubai, bro, and be on my yacht. Shut up, bro. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
When I talk about Red Pill and everything, I talk about the average $50,000 to $65,000 earning guy. You know what I'm saying? Who works out once, twice a week and is chilling. That's what I argue for. A lot of women tend to argue like they're the top like 1% chicks in looks or whatever. So
Oh my God, they compare themselves to Beyonce and all these other 9s and 10s. They're like, I'm a 10 as well. You know?
So when you see like, Rolo and entrepreneurs and cars and all of them, they argue from the standpoint of a top tier guy, like a high earning, like 1% guy. I'm like, that's just not realistic. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's
like,
true.
What are the rest of the other guys supposed to do? Because most men are $50,000 to $70,000 earners, and they're perfectly happy doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So-
that's what I said earlier when Sonic was talking about how he's stressing out over the billionaires getting all these like breaks and stuff like that, and
Oh,
they
here
get to
we
take
go.
advantage
Yeah.
of the system. I'm like, dude, you need to stop focusing on the billionaires and focus on your
Yeah.
own life, dude, because that's not doing you
Pocket
anything.
watch.
That's I mean, it's not gonna benefit you stressing out over somebody else's pockets.
Yeah,
You need
yeah,
to
yeah.
focus on yourself, kind of put the horse blinders on, and just like tune all the rest of that stuff out, because you're you're basically keeping up with the Joneses. You're like stressing out because you're not where they are. And it's like, you got to understand, everybody gets to the destination at a different time, but you got to understand that men are only going to show you like their wins, and that's just on the internet. People are just going to show you their wins. They're not going to show you all the struggle that they did to get to that point, or the mistakes they made to get to that point.
No, they never will, Camp.
No.
I mean, you think PewDiePie got famous or whatever just by posting up videos? No, I think for his like highest points, he had to sit there and stream for like 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, more than that. 12, 13 hours. Guys, people like PewDiePie and Mr. Beast. And there's a guy, the MMA Guru. He's like the largest like independent YouTuber for the UFC and MMA. So he's making really good money. But for the first 5-6 years, he was just streaming to himself.
Yeah.
Like,
you got to start
he would
somewhere.
have 6-hour streams with one person. And that's him. He would watch his own videos to like get views. What I'm saying is like, if Bezos gets another billion, like what does that have to do with us? We're gonna get our money.
Yeah.
We're gonna get our money. Have you seen how many millionaires and billionaires and business owners have fled New York because of that Zoran, the moron? There's so many investment bankers in Dallas. Instead of Wall Street, they have Y'all Street.
Oh man.
You see like Atlanta and Orlando are like, bro, come on down. Camp, it's so crazy that if you live in London, let's just say that Camp has a business. So he has a business in the UK, then he has a business in Singapore, right? And the Singapore business has nothing to do with the UK other than it's owned by a Camp. He has to pay taxes for his Singapore business in the UK.
Yeah.
So everyone's all the millionaires are leaving the UK. And
Yeah,
I
makes
know,
sense.
I know 5 guys who are millionaires, meaning they've made their money in my lifetime. Okay. They're not evil people like the left and all these wokes. They just worked harder than everyone else.
Yeah.
My friend Kai, he went from, he's the Vietnamese guy, and so because I'm from Seattle, he was in a Vietnamese gang. So he was stealing cars, being bad, and he got caught. But he joined the military. He joined the army, did his 3 deployments. He got into IT, and now he's a multimillionaire.
Now he's set.
He's set. But I've seen him work 16, 17, 18-hour days. I've seen him outwork everyone. Why should he be penalized and pay 60, 70% of his salary like some of these communist leftists are trying to do? It makes no sense. You know,
It is. It's basically just like, hey, you got it all. You can give it up, whatever. It's like, yeah, but like, why should I have to? It's like, I worked hard for this. Why don't you just work hard for yours? And then that's literally like, that's what I think. I think that nothing is given to us as men. We have to build ourselves. So you can't be waiting around for a handout. And especially if you're younger than me, I have no sympathy for you if you're trying to ask for a handout because I'm just like, now you're just lazy.
You're working 60 hours a week and getting paid for it.
The first people you should be asking for any help is your parents. And even then they should be like, do you actually need help?
Right.
Ghostblade, what country are you from, or where are you in? You don't mind me asking?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm from Utah.
Oh, I thought there was someone here who had an accent, but you guys know France.
Oh, Machiavelli. Machiavelli had an accent.
Oh, yeah.
Machiavelli's. Machiavelli's. I can't place his accent, but if I had to guess, it's Eastern.
He sounds like Eastern European. I would guess.
I thought he said he was Hungarian once.
Oh, I mean, that would kind of plot point Eastern European, yeah.
So, guys, France is totally cooked because after World War II, they have a huge welfare state. Okay, it's I think it's the most robust welfare state in the world, but it only comes from income tax. Whereas like Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and even United States pays for it with estate tax, capital gains tax, sales tax, and energy tax. That was fine with the post-war boom until the gas crisis of 74. Then you had a huge part of the population who wasn't working. But guess what? The people who were working had to pay the bill. So their taxes went way up. But the thing about France never recovered. In France, it's the easiest to vote out the prime minister than anywhere else. So anytime that a prime minister wants to what is it called? Diversify the tax revenue, they get voted out.
Oh, wow. So they can't really make any changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now there's people retiring and there's less and less people working, and the people and those who are left have to pay more and more taxes. So France is taking on debt to pay their welfare state. And the young French who are graduating from high school as doctors and lawyers, they're leaving France because they're getting taxed at 50%. France is totally cooked. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like the fact that these new young guys, women, we all know that they have this kumbaya
sisterhood,
egalitarian, communism type of thing.
Women will come together as a sisterhood to avoid being on the street if they have to. Okay, they'll be like 3 to 4 in a house, if they have to, in order to not be on the street. So did you hear what's happening in China right now? You got the young population that's basically not choosing to not go to work because the living standard is like so high and unaffordable for them that they're just bowing out. They're bowing out and not basically they're living on like little bit a day, like they're working just to like make a little bit of money, but then they quit so that they can just kind of live a very minimalist life, and it's actually affecting their economy in a serious way. I just saw a video on it, and it was really eye-opening because I was like, China, you would think has like a booming economy, but because you have like the cost of living going up, and then like it's becoming unaffordable everywhere in the world now to get yourself started. Like the older generation, like I said earlier in the stream, they were able to get a house by like the age 27 because of the jobs that they were paying, like the cost of living and stuff like that. There wasn't like this massive amount of inflation, and the dollar actually went pretty far back then, and you could actually work one job and take care of a wife and like a family of 4. It was a lot easier back then, but now you got to the point now where it's a pipe dream to try to see if you could even afford a house, even by yourself or even with a dual income. It's just like you'll never be able to make enough money to pay off the house, and even if you do pay off the house, you still got to pay for the land. And it's like I watched so many videos of people that were in that position where They finally paid off their house, but they still ended up having to sell it because they couldn't afford the land payment. You know, so basically they ended up losing their house. They ended up downgrading down to an apartment and stuff. And it's like, it's the game is rigged for you to, like, if you're not working, you're going to eventually be trying to figure out how you're going to live, you know, like, and I don't want to be this whole doom and gloom guy, but like what I was saying earlier, people are looking at storage sheds, you know, people are thinking like, you know, maybe I can, you know, live off the grid, maybe, you know, try to maybe get a nice little tent, you know, and just go live in the woods somewhere, you know, get away from all of this stuff. And I mean, it's what people are having to resort to, you know. Because even getting like trying to get like a recreational vehicle or something, like an RV or something, and trying to, you know, pay rent on like those little RV areas and stuff, even that's expensive now.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
China, everyone thinks China's outdoing us, but they don't have enough people. They don't have enough people.
Yeah.
That's the thing that their economists didn't plan for. They're making all these quote unquote jobs, but no one's having kids.
Yeah, I believe it was the elder population is actually outpacing the youth over there.
Yeah, they're cooked.
Yeah.
So Japan, Korea, and China both, and then they both. So Japan, Korea, and China are not the biggest on immigration, especially Japan with that prime minister, where all these feminists are like, "Yeah, we're gonna have a female prime minister sisterhood," and she's like the most conservative. She's basically Il Duce. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
She's not playing games, bro.
Yeah.
She's voted down every single feminist bill. She closed the borders. She's getting all the migrants out. She's not playing games, you know?
No, she's not.
But yeah. But just before I go, Camp, I want to commend you because I don't know how you have the patience. Like, people have asked me to do debates. I was
the
on
sad
another.
part is I think that too many people are afraid to debate Camp, and if you were to put me in his corner and have me help him prep, it wouldn't be a good show for the other side.
I mean, I wasn't even trying to. The thing is, he came in he was lurking on the last live stream for like the entire video, and then when I was getting ready to say goodbye to everybody, he chimed in on the chat at the very last second and be like, "Hey, I actually have a lot of points that I disagree with you about, and I would love to debate you on it." And I was just like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Let's totally do it next week, whatever." He's like, "I'm not gonna be able to do it next week. I got something to do, whatever. Maybe the week after." I'm like, okay. I was like, what I was like, I didn't even ask him. Like, I just knew that he said that he disagreed with something that I had said. Mm-hmm. So that's all I had. I didn't prep at all. I gave him a full week to prepare, you know, and it still went off the rails.
The thing is there's this TikTok Tylenol brain passive aggressive way of debate. So I would debate you on something for fun because you are in good faith, right? Like, you aren't doing this passive aggressive, disrespectful stuff. And you've seen it. Like, I don't know how Andrew Wilson and Jake Rattlesnake and all of them put up with it. People are just so disrespectful. And if I'll cuss you out, there was a guy, I was on a smaller content creator stream, and this one guy, he always calls in. He's always disrespectful. He has to always have the whole panel against him, and then he has to try and make the whole panel about himself, right?
Oh wow!
And when the person whose channel it is tries to try and chime in, you interrupted me, blah blah blah. So he goes, well, AJ, you're some MAGA person, blah blah blah. I said, well, I'm an independent. And he goes, oh, so you're a coward then? And I'm like, oh, and your mother's a whore.
Oh, dude, that's that old like, label and dismiss tactic, man. Like, oh, I'm just gonna call you out and just dismiss whatever you have to say. Like, come on, man.
No, but you don't call a man a coward. Those are fighting words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I was just cussing him out, right?
Dude, people are brave, man. People are brave on the internet to just crap all over people, man. Like,
I blocked him from my channel. And then I was like, you go on, you're too chicken-ish and to make your own platform like Camp has his, and I have mine. So you go on other people's and try and run it and then play the victim.
Oh
So
my
then he's like,
God.
well, I don't know why you're cussing me out. And another guy goes, bro, if you call another man a coward, those are fighting words. And he says, and I quote, I called him a coward per the dictionary definition of the word. And I was like, oh, here we
wow.
go. But that's the type of people that if you're going to get into a debate nowadays, like I would debate Andrew Wilson. I'm not religious, but I could debate him on religion. You know what I'm saying? I probably could. Because Andrew's a good faith debater. Camp, you are a good faith debater. Like if I asked you a direct question, you would give me like a yes, no, and then extrapolate.
Yeah,
right?
explain my point.
But-
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. But nowadays, these people, they get, and debates, it's all about, oh, I own Camp. I owned him, and I'm going to get some clip from my TikTok. It's
Right.
like, that's not what it's about. And for all you guys who are thinking about doing debates are not about convincing your opponent. It's about the audience. It's about the audience. If you're in a hall of 500 people and even 7 or 8 people go, you know what? That Ghostblade guy made some good points. You won.
Yeah.
You won. It's not about the other guy. It's
Yeah.
about the audience. And I feel like now people will try to debate and try and dunk on the other guy. So I want to commend you on your patience because I probably I did like a speed run of your debate. And this guy, he was just saying stuff. I'm like, this is just absolutely absurd. So
I've never
Yeah, man.
I've never met anybody who is so confidently wrong in so many ways. But the fact that he is still consistent about it. Like, you know, he has these views and he's kind of like the modern male, you know, like he's not like this traditional like stoic individual. No, he's very in touch with his emotional side, and he has this type of empathy, I guess you could call it, or I don't know, like this thing that men and women are, that we are actually equals in more ways than one, and we don't live separate existences. Like, no, we both have. Yeah, I'm just like, what are you talking about? It's like women have life so much easier than us in other ways. I don't know.
There's one thing, and Andrew Wilson brought this up once with Afghanistan, but he talks about the whole force doctrine thing, how men give women rights. Like, women only get rights from men. Men could just put them in cages tomorrow. And I was talking to a guy, that isn't true. I said it happened in Afghanistan 2 years ago. Afghanistan's most repressive regime, 2 women on earth. Matter of fact, the whole Middle East, half the world, women have no rights, in Africa too, because men said no.
Yeah. Women have to get men to enforce their ideals.
Thank you. And people, we live in the West where we're so far removed from violence, from death, from destruction, from practical use of force, that people actually think that for some reason men think about the Bolsheviks, the American Revolution. Every 15 minutes in Africa, there's a revolution, and it's a coup d'etat, and it's men that overthrow the government. Women have never overthrown anything, and women need to thank the benevolence of men. And that's the thing about women from from like the third world. They don't. You can't have these types of ideas.
You never could. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It would never work. It would never work, and you can only be a feminist in a first world country.
Yes. My one friend, she's from Siberia. It's crazy because her mom was like from Kazakhstan, and then her dad's Russian, so she looks Asian, but she has blonde hair and blue eyes. She's like one of the like most stunning chicks I've ever seen, right? But she was like, Siberia, we are men. She's like, the men do hard labor and fight off wolves. Your women stay at home. You know what I mean? No. She's like, American women want to do this. Why do you want to do this?
No, exactly. It's just like, why would you choose the harder path when you can have it so much easier? You know?
It just doesn't make any sense.
No, it's just it's
doesn't
the one hand thinking, oh, I should have it I should have it equal. I should be as equal to you, and I should be able to have my own thing. I shouldn't have to rely on you. And it's like, well, okay, so that's where the whole independent thing comes from. It's like you just want to be on your own, and it's like, but you understand that this world is not built for you to be on your own.
I'm gonna drop this in the chat. Can you check out this chick doing the firefighters test? I dropped this in the chat.
Is it the one from the UK?
No, guys. Oh no.
Okay, let me see if I can get it on screen. Hold on.
Bro, check this out.
Hold on,
guys,
I got you. Hold on. 1 second. I
Yo,
got you.
I've seen some crazy stuff, but this is
my
one of the
goodness.
craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life, man. This is you guys as
Hold on,
Jaws.
1 second. Share.
I did a video on this, and there's people from all over, all over the world were like, this is real.
Oh, it is. Hold on. Let me get this on screen here. Okay, so we're gonna
I
go.
call female firefighters, corrections officers, and cops the ponytail patrol because they're useless.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The ponytail patrol.
Okay, hold on. Let me. 1 second. Hold on. Let me.
Watch this.
1 second. 1 second. Hold on. I need
Let's
to.
go.
I need to scale this to the right.
All right. No problem.
Okay, 1 second. All right. I can already tell this is going to be good. Hold on.
No, guys, this chick is a firefighter. She is getting paid to be a firefighter. All right.
Oh
I want to caveat that. All right.
Okay. All right. Hold on. There we go. I just need to shrink it down just a little bit so I can extend it. There we go. There we go. And 1 second. Almost got it. Building it as we fly here. Okay. There we go.
No
All
problem,
right.
man. No
All
problem.
right. Let's go.
You ready, Manga?
No, she's supposed to be going as quickly as possible, guys. Okay?
Oh my God. Someone tells me she's going to go at her own pace.
That's as quickly as she can go.
Nice and easy.
Come on, Monica, come on.
Where's the effort?
She's just doing it. She's not like kind of making. She's not gonna even make any records here. I love how people are cheering her on.
No pain, Micah. Let's go.
No pain!
Oh yeah, no pain. This is obviously no pain. This is easy right here.
This is what we do, Monica.
What is this?
Let's go.
Guys, it gets worse. It
Oh
gets
my
worse.
God.
Jesus Christ, is this a day stroll?
Dude, this is the longest TikTok I've ever seen.
Take your time.
Grief.
And she gets cooked in the comments.
Oh my God, dude.
Look at that.
Dude, I would be skipping steps up there. Dang. So did she get like the worst time ever? Oh my God.
Her boast, she's all proud of herself. Now watch her try and crawl.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, Manga. You got this.
Oh my God.
Deep
We really
breaths.
gotta sit through this?
Is she really saying I've got this?
Oh my God.
Camp, this is painful.
Wait, was she supposed to keep holding the hose?
No.
Okay, all right. Because I was gonna say, I mean, I think in a real life situation, you probably do need to get the hose to wherever you're going.
It's just a
Come on,
crawl
you got
down
this.
there. Come back.
Oh, she's hurting, man. Her knees hurt. Her arms are shaky. She's like, woof.
I've seen female Marines do better on the combat fitness test than she's doing.
This is tough, man. Like,
No, guys, once she finally makes it down the stairs, because she has to stop for a water break going down the
Doing
stairs.
good. You're doing good.
oh my God. Wait, why is he carrying that? Should she give that back to her to carry down? Because you gotta keep the hose down, right?
I would. I would.
He's doing her a solid right now. He's like, I'll meet you at the bottom.
Yeah, he's already like.
Look at her.
Deep breath. Deep breath. Take your time.
Dude, she's
You need a break,
she's
take a
winded.
break, okay?
What?
Just the rest.
This is a training exercise. What is this? Brakes? Oh my god.
She's supposed to be going as fast as possible.
Oh my
No,
god.
you're not.
This is that standard that we're talking about here, okay?
Fighter's outfit is.
Oh, is she about to
based-
repel?
No, she has to pull a hose up over this
Oh my god.
this balcony thing.
A firefighter's uniform is basically a level C without the mask. This is pathetic.
There you go. There you go. Let's go. Come on.
There's your friend, Monica. Yeah? Yeah, we do, Monica. What we do.
I can just imagine that Sonic down there. This is what we do. This is what we do. Oh my goodness.
And how many times have you seen videos in the last couple years of all these female cops being disarmed?
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh man.
Have you seen the video with the pregnant cop
No.
where she had to pit maneuver some guy?
Oh
And
yeah.
Then
I saw
there's
that.
the guy who knew Brazilian jiu-jitsu had to basically come in and rescue her to nearly flip a weapon.
See, I don't want to watch that kind of stuff because then I will just get nothing but videos like that. Don't want to ruin my feed.
Come on,
Dude.
Monica. You got
Now, guys,
this.
this is where it gets really good. And she has to take a water break.
Oh my god. Dude, are you gonna have water?
Can't. What is
this? Oh my god. She about to sit down?
You got this.
What is she doing now?
You're gonna help me push?
Oh Jesus!
Oh my god. Oh man.
Put the damn thing above your head like Gallagher, and actually put some swing behind it. Dear Lord.
You got this, Monica.
Oh, watch out. Don't fall down. Yeah, this is tough.
This is sad.
Don't hurt yourself.
Watch. He's gonna move it. Watch. He moves it for her.
What are you doing?
He
Stop.
pulls string there?
Yeah. No, he's moving it for her.
Don't do that.
You got this, Monica.
Oh, I saw it. Don't. What are you doing, sir? Come
Oh, he's
on.
actually got a hold of it and pulling it. Look at that.
It's still going.
These firefighters are. This dude in the red shirt and the chicken. Like, dude.
Is she the only female? Like, on this whole,
There's another chick, but she's the only one doing it.
Oh my goodness. Dude, I would be burnt to a crisp if this was like reality.
Yeah.
I would have no chance, man. I'll get to you when I get to you, alright? These steps are hard. That's what you gotta give women, man. You gotta give them positive reinforcement. Got to.
Yeah,
There you go.
women should be police officers. They should have. I think there's in Illinois, cops have
Let's
like
go.
a woman that they can call to handle women at the jail or whatever.
Yeah.
So they should search female suspects and then handle women at the jail, but they shouldn't be police officers, and they certainly shouldn't be corrections officers. How many times have we seen these chicks banging inmates? Sneaking their cell phones in nature's pocket. You know what I'm saying? Crazy.
It's like, but that's women putting themselves in dangerous positions again, like thinking I can change him, It's like, Jesus.
But can you imagine, Camp, that your wife and kids are in danger, you call the cops, and look, he's holding the
Oh my
Nice
god.
little bit.
This is not
holding the hose.
Stop helping, man. Now he's pushing her.
Can you imagine? You call the cops and two ponytail patrols show up.
My god. Yeah, dude.
And it'd be faster if you attempted the rescue.
Did they give her a completion plaque for this? Like a trophy?
We're almost done, Monica. The last little bit.
This is coddling, dude. This is adult coddling.
This is so painful. Even when I was at my duty station, we had crash fire rescue guys for the planes, and they would be looking at this like, is this a joke?
You know, he just hit the button on the stopwatch. Like, okay, we're not gonna even count this.
Do you see how out of shape these firefighters and the red shirts are?
Yeah.
Why are they all? Yeah, they're all blowing up. This is crazy.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
You call that a drag, lady? Pick up from the shoulders, not
Yeah,
from
but they
the
want to get paid
straps.
the same.
Do not
They wanna get paid the
Are you
same,
gonna
guys.
have that much leverage just from pulling the straps on somebody?
No,
to the...
you will not.
Camp, check out the comments, bro.
Oh my God! Here we
Look at
go.
the comments, dude.
This lady's about to
Look
get
at the
cooked, isn't
comments.
she? Hold on.
You ready, Monica?
Let's check it out.
You got this.
8,000 comments. Me in heaven watching Monica save me. Oh, is the fire tomorrow? Oh my God, that's great. Late responder. Oh, take your time, baby girl. I'm in no rush as the fire's all around you. This is fine. I love that. Don't worry, sir. Monica is on her
Come on,
way.
Monica. Come on.
Oh, when the Honeywell Fire Department pull up and you hear, "Come on, Monica," they got the guy with his hands on his hips. That's funny. Monica, they had the funeral already, but I appreciate that first. Oh man, dude, who's coming, Monica? Oh, never mind. I'll just save myself, dude. Came for the comments to make sure that I wasn't tripping. No, it's true, man. Maybe Monica should work at the DMV instead, bro. She's got the speed of a DMV agent, man. If you're not gonna be there all day getting stuff done, absolutely. Oh my God. I read all 3,596 comments and she's still not done. That's awesome. Girl, you did not want to do this. Oh, she's so slow, even at 2 times speed. Oh, dude.
Oh.
The dude from Zootopia?
Yeah, the sloth. There's a fire, you say? No sense of urgency. Isn't there hypothetically a fire happening? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Cooked.
Oh, I need the fire department. Please don't send Monica. Yeah, there it is. And by the time Monica gets to me, I'm just burnt to a crisp, man. I said that shit. You tried your mediumness, and that's all that matters. Oh, man. Take your time.
What a mess.
Dude.
What a mess. And they want equal pay.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
hey, my one friend, he's a paramedic, right? And in his county, they offered unlimited overtime. So he paid off his Challenger, Scat Pack, and put a down payment on a house because he worked 7 days a week for a whole year and a half. Right? Even his fire captain was working, and then he and his wife put a down payment on a beach house. Do you know at the end of that period, some of the female firefighters were like, "Well, we noticed a paid discrepancy," so they actually had an independent person come in to look at why the men were getting paid more. And guess who was working the overtime? You guys want to guess?
All the men.
All the men were working overtime. Duh.
Guess who wasn't working the overtime?
The women.
Thank you very much.
Of course, man. It's like they want the equal pay with not the effort that it takes to get that pay. It's like that's why women will. I'm just feeding Sonic more points to combat me with, but women will definitely take the cushy positions, man. They'll take the AC in the behind the desk job, and the pencil pushing job, whatever, while the men are putting their lives on the line, And
but the thing people like him don't get, guys. I don't want to work on an oil rig. Most men don't want to do it. What makes you think a woman wants to?
Exactly.
Most men don't want to crawl through the sewers. Most men don't want to get up at 3 a.m. and jump on the back of a garbage truck. If most men don't want to do it, why in the world would any women want to do it?
Right. It's like I think women are smarter than men in that aspect, as they realize that. They're like, just let the guys have that. We'll let the guys have that.
To the point, to the all-knowing they, Camp.
I know.
They need to know that I'm strong, and
Yeah.
They need to know, who is this they? Who is they?
No, it's true.
But all right, my friend. I'm gonna dip out. But hey, good debate, man.
I appreciate you coming, man.
Once again, I admire your patience, my friend, because I couldn't do it. I'd have just cussed them out a few times. So
I mean,
have a good one, man.
I appreciate you coming out, man. Have a good night.
Bye.
Peace.
Have a good night, AJ.
All right. Every time you guys leave, man, I gotta readjust the screen because this is something I've totally had to build. But no, I mean, it's like, we're probably never going to agree on everything, and I think that's fine. But when it comes to like just generalities and stuff, it's like, yeah, I might have a perspective when it, that may, I don't know, trigger certain people when it comes to like how they view women and stuff. I might challenge their conception of like, the way that I think things should be, but I think that's fine. It's like live and let live, man. I mean, the reason I have this point of view is because it works for me. But hey, if you are perfectly fine having a bunch of female friends, as your confidants, whatever, you just want to surround yourself like that because you feel like, that works for you. Who am I to tell you that you're living your life incorrect? It just seems like you are kind of accepting this lot in life, and you're never going to be satisfied, but you're going to convince yourself that, yeah, no, I am building towards something. I am building relationships, strong relationships, and I'm becoming, this dependable factor in all of these women's lives and stuff. And it's like, yeah, but that you're helping them find real men.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So I hope at least I got that through his head. Exo Charles, welcome to the stream, sir. Hey, I was late. Did you destroy Sonic in the debate? I mean, you might have to catch it on the replay. I mean,
I can confirm that Camp really gave Sonic a hard time.
I mean, dude, I gave him a week to prepare. Okay, I completely went in blind. All right, he gave me very little to go off of to prepare. So I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I can wing it. And hey, man. Sometimes winging it is kind of the best way to go, in my opinion. At least if you have the experience to back up whatever points you got to come against. But it just seemed like Sonic had this position that men and women kind of live equal lives, in terms of like their perspectives and stuff on things. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're gonna boil it down to like, yes, men get sad, women get sad. Men hurt and women get hurt and like, I don't know, but it's like, you got to understand that men get rejected, women do the rejecting. Okay. Yeah. I think a woman would probably count on like maybe one hand in her entire life how many times she's been rejected, No,
if you actually go out and find, there are red pillars out there who go out of their way to find videos where women get rejected. And some of them are borderline hysterical because they got rejected.
Mm-hmm. It just
some of the videos are just like, you're losing your mind over a fact that a guy said no. Or there was the one time there was a woman who was, she's obviously some OnlyFans girl. She's walking by and the guy just walks right by her and says, "Sorry, I have a husband. And he told me to stay away from women like you." The look of shock on her face was priceless.
I mean, the audacity sometimes still shocks them, man. It's like a cold splash of water to the face, man. And it's like they don't know how to handle it. Like I've said that before. Women don't know how to handle rejection. So it's like they're smart enough to at least to not put themselves in that position. I mean, some of them do it, but like most of them are just like, no. That is something I will never do. That is not my role. And, I guess some of these new women that want to kind of change the whole paradigm and be the ones to approach, be the ones to shoot their shot and stuff like that, or even be the ones to choose who they want to marry and stuff. It's like, you got to remember that men still have a choice at the end of the day, too.
Yeah.
It's a big commitment. That's not just, I mean, that's going from, sleeping on a mattress on the floor and you're okay with that to, no, you need to work a little bit harder and you got to get me a house. You know, it's like
Yeah.
that's a monumental thing, you know, and most
Yeah.
people don't ever, you know, get to that point. You know, they're like, look, I'm going to do the best I can. If, you know, I understand that if I don't meet your expectations, yeah, you might just have your irreconcilable differences and just leave me high and dry, and maybe even take a little bit from me, you know, cut me in half, if you will.
Yeah.
It's just like
And as a quick side note here, if I catch anybody dragging anybody by any type of strap, I swear to God, I'm gonna cold clock you, and then I'm gonna save that person because pulling by the straps will never work.
I mean, she was tired. You got to give her that.
No.
She was tired. She was
And
just.
it doesn't matter if you're tired. You're talking life and death here. I catch anybody trying to pull somebody by an elastic strap. I swear, I'm just gonna come over, cudgel your knees with a swift kick, and I'm just gonna drag that person to safety and just leave you there. Because there's a reason why you grab somebody by the shoulders. It's because if you grab them by the straps and they're elastic, you're going nowhere. Even
That's
if
true.
they're as tight as they can be, you're going nowhere.
Especially if you're in, like, you know, a smoke situation, a fire situation, whatever. So you're knocked out. You're dead weight. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're even heavier.
Also, there's that, and then there's also the fact that most suspender straps are mostly polyurethane.
Mhm.
As soon as that stuff hits fire, it's gonna melt into your hands.
Yeah.
That's another big reason. Stuff will just melt into your hands, and I think the last time I heard anybody pulling somebody by suspender straps like that, last time I heard somebody doing like that, they nearly lost their hands.
Well, I mean,
because that's how bad the burns were.
Let's just hope that none of us have to encounter Miss Monica on the beat, you know. Like we have to, yeah, our life is hanging in the balance as long as Monica can get to us. Hopefully, you know, none of us have to go down that path, you know.
And the other reason why you lift from the shoulders is so you can engage your legs, because you'll get more movement out of pulling with your legs than you will with just your upper back. You'll get more if you engage your legs and your lower back. You will move faster and move more.
I don't know, man. I think when you're not, we saw how quickly she was moving, you know, because there was an actual threat. Could you imagine how if she would move any faster if there was an actual threat, or if she would just panic?
She probably just panicked.
That's what I'm saying. You know, it's like, hey, I'm sorry, but you know, it's like, I think when you're actually put in that position, you know, you're gonna probably act a little bit differently, you know, and it's probably not going to be favorable, unfortunately. You know,
and also what firefighters wear is a low-grade level C hazmat suit. Because some of that stuff you don't breathe, it does not breathe, and level C's don't, well, they can breathe, but it's not very good for that, for hazmat situations. But if you're in anything close to a level C in a hazmat situation, or you're in a firefighter suit, for Pete's sake, and you're not wearing a rebreather, do yourself the favor, and if it becomes necessary, ditch the outfit, because it's going to be worse that way. I can guarantee that. But
I was gonna say, I don't think, I think for her, like, it wouldn't end well either way, you know, whether she kept it on because it's gonna make her cumbersome, or if she took it off, she would just get consumed in the fire too, man. It wouldn't be a good day. I think everybody would be going up in flames, and yeah, that would be the end of it, man. That would be your history coming to a close, you know.
Oh yeah.
So you would have to accept fate at that point. I do want to thank everybody who came out to the stream. And, you know, everybody that was viewing this on Twitch, on Kick, and YouTube, thank you so much. If you guys haven't liked the video, please take the time to like the video. It does help me out, does push this video out to more people. And I know typically the debates on my channel don't get many views, but I still enjoy watching them back because I like kind of seeing argumentation and just how people form their ideas and just how they get to that. And it's always very interesting to me to watch these debates back. And but no, I don't think this is going to be the last that we will see of Sonic. And you know, I welcome anybody that, if you guys do not agree with anything that I say on my streams, you are more than welcome to come into the Discord and we can have a healthy discourse like we just had today. You understand that it's not going to be a shouting match. It's going to be an equal footing of ideas to be passed, you know, back and forth. And yes, do we get a little charged in our point of view? Yes, but you know, we definitely try to keep it civil around here. It's all in good fun, and at the end of the day, it's entertainment for the audience. So I appreciate you guys for, you know, taking time out to check this out. Tiatoso Ghost, do you have anything on your channel that we can look forward to?
Yes, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, poll voted, and it was decided that Borderlands 4 is going to be the next live stream game. So we're going to be on that one for a while.
Nice.
Unless I decide to speed run it, but I'm probably not going to, just to kind of give everybody an idea of, you know, just how to do a build, kind of.
This is Borderlands, the first one, the first game.
No, it's actually the newest one, Borderlands 4.
Okay.
Because to be honest, I'm surprised they even came out with it. I thought they were done after Borderlands 3.
I didn't even know there was a 4. I knew there was 3. I didn't know there was a 4th one, so that's new to me.
Well, there was a 4th one.
Awesome. Well, you guys go check that out. I'll probably be dropping in, saying hello, and maybe, you know, asking, you know, questions about the game and stuff, because, you know, I only remember playing the first 2 games of that series, so I would love to see if they changed anything up in terms of the game
after 2, but they didn't.
I mean, greed comes for us all, okay? In many ways and forms, so maybe it was just a money thing. They knew somebody was going to buy it.
Fair enough.
Well, you guys have a good night. Appreciate you guys coming out, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. This is Camp Hustle 1. Peace out, guys. Bye, guys.